best Quad City sports talk radio show in the world. With the face who runs the place, T-Roy, the OG on the marquee, Jaybird, and the cat who runs the chat with the stats, Statman Surge. We are Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're not a Quad City sports talk radio show. We're not the Quad City sports talk radio show. We are your Quad City sports talk radio show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the dawn.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside, Leah.
Is it? What feeling?
But we're having fun here in the Hassle Castle. Today is Tuesday?
Is it? Is it Tuesday?
It's sad. I'm losing track.
I know. They all kind of
Much
mesh
like
together.
the rest of you Quad Cityans out there, it's hard to tell what day it is. But we are glad to be here. We're brought to you by our friends at Dunright Satellite and Dish. And, of course, this is Don't Hassle Us, or Local on AM 1170. The K Bobberino. We are the bobberest of them all.
Yeah.
And you're the bomberest of them all.
Bombiest.
That
Bomb.
line in the song that you referenced at the beginning, your song by Elton John,
Yes, sir.
has a very good line in it that I always remember. And it, he says, forgive me, I've forgotten these things I do. In fact, I can't remember.
If they're green or they're blue.
They're the blue. Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
What I really mean, yours are the greatest eyes
See, it's a great line.
I ever seen.
Yeah.
Don't even know it.
You don't know that song? Your song by Elton John?
Ooh, I like that though. A little harder.
This is a song.
Oh, I do know that song.
Yeah, that's
okay.
it. You just,
Yeah,
it's the lyrics in there. I mean, because a lot of times you might be sitting
McGee,
at,
that's his favorite song.
you might be sitting at date number 13, 26, 39, who knows? And they sit there, and a conversation comes up, and like, well, what color are my eyes? She may say to you, and you're like, oh boy.
I've forgotten if they're green.
The
or
pressure.
Yeah, I don't care about the color.
Don't get it wrong.
Just
They're
the
the greatest eyes I've ever
they're just the
seen.
greatest eyes. Yeah, I don't get lost in the color. I get lost in those eyes, not the
Cop
color.
out. What a
That's
cop
right.
That's not a cop out.
That is a
That's
cop
advice right there. At noon.
That's
At
giving
noon.
it
That's
real.
free.
That's giving
free
it real.
advice
So you go
right
home to
there.
your lady tonight and be like,
They're
hey.
the best eyes.
I don't focus on the color. I just get lost in them. That's how I can't
gross.
see
I would laugh.
it. You would not.
I would.
You'd be like, kiss me now or
Yeah.
lose me forever.
Like,
skip
whatever,
dessert. I'm
cheese.
dessert. That's what it means.
Yeah, that's
Whatever,
right.
cheese bags.
Kiss me.
Ew.
No.
Yeah, you would.
Don't even front, girl.
You ain't got it front.
Yeah.
Ain't no shame in our game.
Well, yesterday, obviously, the big thing that we talked about was the Last
Or you
Dance.
could do Rick, Slick Rick. His great line.
Slick Rick. And that's a reference you don't get to hear very often.
Treat him like a prostitute.
Slicky Ricky.
You know, there's
right.
the opposite ends of that spectrum, yeah.
How about that line in Pretty Woman? I never treated you like a prostitute. She goes, you just did.
Okay.
The numbers are in.
You're a whore.
The numbers are in from The Last Dance, ESPN's documentary that they put together along with Netflix. And it's 6.1 million viewers on Sunday night.
Wow.
Is that a lot?
It is a lot. For as far as documentaries going and premiering in the 30 for 30 era, You Don't Know Bo drew 3.6 million on December 8th, 2012.
Lord.
Yeah.
So it's double.
And that
almost
was
double.
one, I mean, I remember talking about that in the taverns being like, I got to watch this. I mean, I'll still sit there and say that Bo Jackson's the greatest athlete I ever saw.
It's pretty solid.
Like how? Like most versatile?
It was the you could have told me, it's still to this day, even with the bad hip, all the injuries, I still believed everything that, every story that you heard about Bo Jackson, like, he lived it up in person that you saw it finally.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that when George Brett interviewed him and he said he knew how to knock out Tyson?
No, but that's a tough one.
He knew how to
You're
beat
like,
Tyson?
that's a tough one if I believe that.
Yeah, I don't know if I.
What about a street fight? Bo versus Mike.
That's a really tough one. I've seen videos of Mike now at his age still moving and
Oh, I don't want any- I don't want any part
how
of
to throw an
Mike.
uppercut, and it's disgusting.
I don't want any part of Mike. Not in a million years. I'm talking Bo Jackson.
Yeah. Let's see.
In their prime. Because Bo was a tough dude, man.
No, he's of course. Like the thing is
Yeah,
the only
Mike kicks his ass.
first time. I mean, I'm not when I'm 9 years old. I'm not watching SEC football games on a Saturday. I'm watching the Iowa
None of us
Hawkeyes.
were. No one knew anything about. I didn't know who Bo Jackson was.
I didn't tell the Heisman Trophy ceremony. I'm like, who is this clown?
As far as I know, he robbed Chuck Long.
Who is Vincent Edward Jackson, and why do they call him Bo? This guy doesn't deserve a thing.
He's no Chuck Long. That's what
exactly
I said. That was my take the entire time.
Somebody voted wrong. That's why it's so close.
Yeah,
I don't
hate
buy
us here
this.
in Iowa.
This Bo Jackson's going to be nothing. Chuck Long's going to be the greatest of all time.
And you were wrong.
Yeah, and then he went.
Hey, whoa. If you had to go play for the Detroit Lions, you'd suck too.
Yeah, that's true.
Take that, Randazzo.
I suck so bad I wouldn't even be able to play for the Detroit Lions. So,
Well,
Oh, Leah.
we'll see what goes on with the draft that's coming up.
even if I was a dude, I'd
By
still
looking at it, why this is such a big deal about what's going on in the world without live sports. Some things have been pretty good for televisions, like CBS Masters Rewind that they've been doing. They drew 2.2 million viewers. But things like original start for Fox Sports with their iRacing, they had good numbers. That went down. And ESPN's Horse Challenge just drew 686,000 viewers. 6.1 million viewers on Sunday night. And that's why
Mookie wants to watch it.
that's why you see State Farm quite a bit, because State Farm was owed a lot of money for all these live events that they didn't get a show, so that's why everything is State Farm.
Well, they're like a good neighbor.
Yeah, well, they're there.
They are there.
And we got Jake from State Farm like once a week.
Yeah, he'll call in later on today. Yeah.
Yay.
So I hope people go back if they like the stuff and they go watch old documentaries, 30 for 30. A couple ones I like to push is
Well, you know what I
the
got
Pony
into
Excess.
last night?
What'd you get into last night?
Have you seen McMillions?
I started to watch it and it just didn't grab my full attention. So it's not a matter of it wasn't good. It was a matter of I probably picked up my phone and I shouldn't have. That's what I
Dude,
say.
it's deep, man.
Yeah.
What is it about?
I heard good things about it.
It's about the people that figured out how to scam McDonald's on the Monopoly game.
Ooh.
And it wasn't the people. It was like one dude.
Didn't they make like fake squares?
No, they were the real thing.
Yeah.
Man,
But I haven't got to the part where they
wish I would have thought of that.
see the guy that was kind of handing them out. They still haven't shown me how he was getting them. So it was an inside job, but he had to have help.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. So
Well, now I'm interested.
Yesterday we talked about it on the air briefly, but there were some glitches when the NFL did their draft test run yesterday.
there won't be any tonight when we do ours.
We are doing a mock draft at Town Hall, a Zoom that will be on Facebook Live at 7 o'clock after make an event. Adam Rosso from WHPF, he's actually going to be calling us soon. From WHPF TV, Hawkeye headquarters, is going to be doing it. Friend of the show, Dan Vasco, all the way from South Carolina, will be doing it as well. T-Roy will do it, and I'll be actually here in studio, but the Zoom will be up on our Facebook Live. Follow along. We have different parameters how we're doing it. It was real simple. We thought we could get 8 people together and give them 4 teams, but I just thought it's just too much to do for Zoom. It gets too crazy, and actually, I'm right, because I'll tell you in a second what happened with the NFL. So instead, we did us 4, and in turn, right away, instead of like assigning teams, I just said, I'll do it the best way I know how. Vasco is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He writes for him, or he did for a site for him. He knows the AFC North pretty well. I'll assign him the AFC North. T-Roy's a Cowboy fan. He knows them very well. He also knows their opponents. I'll assign him the NFC East. Rosso is a Minnesota Vikings fan. He knows them well, knows the division well. I'll give him the NFC North. From there, because I don't really care where I fall. No one cares what I think. You guys are smarter than me. From there, I was like, all right, if T-Roy ever cheats on the Cowboys, it's going to be with the Los Angeles Chargers. I almost did it, T-Roy.
I know.
So I said, I'll give him the AFC West. And then I thought, well, Vasco's down in Carolina. He's got a little bit of insight on the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to give him the NFC South. And then I always tease Rosso that his real favorite team is the New England Patriots. I gave him the AFC East, thus leaving me with the NFC West and the AFC South. Good thing about this, though, is I already am head and shoulders in my draft than my counterparts, because my last name isn't O'Brien and my first name isn't Bill. So I'm going to do pretty well for the Texans. So I feel happy about that. That's going to be at 7 o'clock night. All right. So yesterday they did a rough draft because the draft is going to be completely virtual. Some of the problems that they came through on Monday. There were reportedly glitches and communication issues leading to several GMs to become upset with the entire process. Well, guys, it's never going to be the way that you envisioned it. Just follow the rules.
I want it to be that way, Jay.
This is exactly how homeschooling started today at our house. It did not go well, guys. There was a lot of yelling at the teacher, me being the teacher.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A lot of and I was like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out at the same time you are. So that's what's happening. So the GMs, so if I'm the commissioner in our house, it did not go over well. The GMs were not happy of the process of homeschooling. All right, one GM said that there were early communication problems because all 32 GMs were on a conference call and didn't hit mute.
No.
That's why I didn't go with 8 people to do this mock draft.
I want to see that.
It's people just talking over each other and no one assigning what's going on. A source told Adam Schefter there were technical glitch with the Bengals' first-round selection. The unforced error caused a 2.5-minute delay. So if you're sitting there trying to work out a trade, which I don't suggest to any of the GMs out there, you waste that time on the clock trying to figure out a trade. You should start anticipating things. And I know it's not easy to do because you don't know everyone's strategy going in the draft, but figure it out. And teams remain concerned about possible technical and security issues during the draft. So, for me, the draft has always been more or less, it's more the kickoff for the draft night used to always be when T-Roy, when we played co-ed softball out at Crow Creek. Aww. So I always think about that Thursday night. And, I'll watch it. I'll try to follow what's going on. But really, I'm going to be tuned in for the chaos, for the glitches, for the
foo bars.
Because think about how bad everyone just totally crapped all over that horse competition and the video quality. I mean, people are going to have a field day.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be watching that. Are you
Why?
going to watch it? Are you going to watch it?
Yes, he'll be watching the draft.
You will?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't stop tuning out.
I'm doing draft stuff.
She thinks you're mad at her when you leave the room. She's like, she's not paying attention. He's not paying attention to me. I have to calm her down. Be like, no, everything's fine.
I cried a little bit.
Cry.
Major League Baseball is trying to come up with a contingency plan of what they're going to do. The Arizona plan had some objections. We talked about Mike Trout. Clayton Kershaw says he doesn't like the Arizona plan as well.
What did Mike Trout have to say?
Mike Trout says it just doesn't make sense that you're going to quarantine these people. His wife's pregnant. She's going to be due, and he's going to take a day off of baseball.
Well, then don't play.
One day? Because his wife's due?
Just don't play, period, Mike. We don't need you.
One day?
The only one that needs you is E's or A's.
What a favor.
E's or A's will scrub your entire body with a loofah.
So MLB is trying to come up with some creative ways to play even a shortened season.
This is going to piss me off more and more. These athletes are just going to be pissing and moaning and
It's
bitching.
going to be right now one that they're talking about according to MLB.
I wish my life was in danger because you know what, guys? I'd rather die living than die being a stupid couch potato. I'm sorry.
They just don't want to be quarantined from their family for like 6 weeks in a hotel.
Like we have been for 2 months?
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
From our
making
families?
all that money and you don't get to see your family. Wow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that suck? Anyway,
Oh, my God.
so here's, according to RJ Anderson
3 months away
of
from my
CBS
wife.
Sports, the MLB insider,
Making that kind of money.
they're looking at a 3-state plan that would divvy up the league. The leagues would have teams stationed in one of 3 hubs, Florida, Arizona, or Texas. Those states would make use of nearby major league and minor league ballparks facilities. Ballparks in St. Petersburg, Phoenix, and Arlington, Texas each have roofs that would prevent rainouts, delays, and allow for multiple games per day. It's unclear if the MLB will split the league up, a.k.a. 10 teams at each hub, or take an unbalanced approach. I don't know. Again, it's going to be another possible thing because you're not answering the question, are they going to be sequestered? Are the players going to be sequestered? What's going on? I do like the roof, the idea that there's going to be games at 9. There's going to be a game at 1. There's going to be a game at 5. There's going to be, and then you can even go when you get in the West Coast, then you'll have a game. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess 11. I get it. I don't think baseball's going anywhere. I don't think football's going anywhere, as in folding wise. But let's start thinking about it as we move forward with this. some of these sports that quote unquote don't have huge TV contracts, don't have whatever, like a lot of fans, they're going to start folding. A lot of these leagues are going to fold.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that there's going to be no revenue coming in, nothing. And it's not like these people have unlimited amounts of money to throw at something to wait and see what happens. Things are just going to fold. People are just going to be like, smart owners are just going to file bankruptcy and run.
But on what level are you talking about? Like
I
the
don't know.
MLS isn't going to fold, and you would think it's not up there, but they've quadrupled their value, each one of those teams, in every single investment.
They have, but I was saying when people aren't showing up, some of these less fortunate teams. Let's just think about this. We were watching that documentary about the Bulls.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bulls weren't out pulling the sting. This happens there.
Yeah.
I'm talking about some of these bad NBA teams that nobody goes to watch.
Or like the whole WNBA.
Bingo.
They gone.
See, some of these leagues, Jay, things are going to fall apart.
But aren't they partnered with the NBA, the WNBA?
Yes.
Like, I don't think the G League is going to fall apart.
But you know what, though?
We're worried about our minor league teams right now.
Cities and taxpayers and where the football team is are going to support their team, and they're going to make sure they stay afloat.
Are they?
I think so.
I mean, a lot of times people on popular teams, they can't even get them to vote for a new stadium.
But when they do, I mean, how much money goes to those stadiums?
We're on dangerous ground of losing a lot of things that we think when we take for granted. They're not coming back, man. And I'm
Yeah.
not just talking about your favorite eatery or drinkery.
Well, that's going to happen too.
I will tell you my biggest fear out of this, and it is local. It is the Storm, and it is the Steam Wheelers.
Right.
That's the thing that...
Those are two things, and those are two leagues I'm talking about. These are people, these are not just athletes, these are people that run these businesses. People that, by the way, have to go there and work the stands.
Yeah.
You know, think about Wrigley Field, for example. All the baseball you're going to lose there, Jay, if we're playing all these games down south. You follow me here?
Yeah.
All those businesses around Wrigley that thrive off game day. Mm-hmm. All the people that are in the stands delivering you popcorn, peanuts, beer, whatever it is, they are without a job. They survive on that money, those tips. How many people are employed at a ball diamond other than just the players? That's what I'm getting at. I mean, we're talking huge. I mean, yeah, great. We'll have baseball. Okay. And a bunch of millionaires are going to piss them on because they got to go play.
Well, they're all going to get bailouts.
Well, the revenue is going to be
the money
huge.
runs out eventually. You can't bail everybody out.
But there's going to be billionaires that bail out other billionaires. Major corporations that bail out other corporations.
Or they just buy them up.
I haven't.
That's
not a bailout. That's a
monopoly.
Go screw you. You're gone.
We got a phone call. Take a phone call, and then we'll take a break. You ready?
You're in the house, the Hassel Palace. Who do we have?
Let me talk to you real quick.
Brown's back.
Talk, buddy.
So, I want to talk to you, T-Roy, about this McMillions. Did you watch it?
Yes, sir. I am. I'm almost through it. I still don't know. Everybody's been arrested, except we still aren't sure how. I think it was Jacobson was getting the tickets exactly how he was getting them. If he had inside help or if he was by himself.
So this is the game piece scam of like 1990, 1991 era, right?
Yeah, he started scamming. I think not right away, but he started scamming. I think the contest started in '87 and ran all the way to 2001. He started scamming it sometime in the '90s, early '90s.
You realize that this has a local flavor, right?
I thought so.
See, no, I did not.
Okay. I'm going to tell you right now because the guy who was the quote-unquote mastermind, and we'll just call him Ass Hat for short.
I like
I
Ass
don't want
Hat.
to give his name out on the air. Ass Hat is actually from Bettendorf.
Okay.
And was owning a business that I was running until he got caught, and then we had to liquidate the store.
Wow.
Is his name going to come out in this documentary?
I have no idea. I'm just telling you, I lived the McMillian show because literally the store he owned, and we'll say it rhymes with Killer Outdoor Sports, but it wasn't Killcoin. But the store that he owned, I went to work one day because I was running the store, and if anyone remembers Ed Lewis from Channel 6,
Yeah.
Ed had this really deep voice like this. So Ed knocks on the door, and it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. We open at 10. And I'm like, how can I help you? And he's like, I need to ask you about the McDonald's game piece scam that Asshat's involved in. And I'm just like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Really?
So then Asshat comes in about 10 o'clock, and he's like, well, we're going to be liquidating the store because I'm in a bit of trouble, and your last day of working is going to be Christmas Eve. Like, great. So start looking for another job.
So
but apparently this is like his brother-in-law, or it's a cousin or something that was in Clinton that was head of security for these game pieces. And he was giving them to Asshat, who was farming them out all over the country. Like the different contacts he had in like Ohio and whatnot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, all that stuff happened right around here.
Yeah, 3 people. He moved them around from people in Ohio, Nebraska, and Wisconsin.
So this other this
That we're
one
turning
on
into
the show I'm watching, this guy, he's from I can't remember where exactly, but he's living somewhere in South Carolina as he's doing this.
He, like now?
No, during 2001.
Okay, now he might have been then,
But they might have multiple
back in-
contacts. And maybe this is a multiple contact thing.
back in 91 when all this shook down, and he got sentenced to no prison time, but he had to pay a bunch of restitution for...
This happened to you in
all
91?
this.
No, this is like
This happened
2000.
in 91.
But this didn't go down until like 2012, 2011. 2002,
so this was
2002,
before that
2002.
then.
Sorry, no.
This one, yeah, the one I'm watching went down in 2001, 2002.
But the verdict or the plead, how's that? In the case, in the conspiracy to commit mail fraud, the person paid up to almost $360,000 in restitution. Asshat did.
That's him.
Yeah.
That's him. That's the local guy. Asshat.
So how much did he get away with
I
that?
don't even remember the store, Brownsbacker.
Killer Outdoor Sports.
Yeah, I don't remember it, but I don't know why. I mean, this is this is 4
the
blocks.
last
This is 4
location
blocks
was
away
down
from
by
Pints.
Martin. Now, Killer had a pretty good reputation throughout the years, back in the day.
Yeah. Where was it located at, though?
Over where Ducky's Formal Wear, he took the building over by the Mark.
Okay.
Tax players, I'm always going to call it the Mark.
Right.
It was in Moline.
Yeah.
Then he
Yeah.
must have had an office
Yeah,
because
an office over in Bettendorf.
okay, no, that's where it is. Okay, that's
And
what
he
I'm
was
looking
from Bettendorf.
at. It was. I know where it's at now. I know exactly where his office is now. It's on the east side of Utica Ridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just about 4 blocks down from Pints, where Pints is located.
No, I didn't know they were making a documentary on that. I'm going to have to watch that now.
Yeah, so far they haven't mentioned anything about a Bettendorf guy, so I'll have to pay attention. A lot of people from the
Yeah.
South, but I mean, it's
If he wouldn't have done it through
No.
the mail, he would have avoided that mail fraud charge.
there's no way to avoid the mail fraud charge because you had to mail it into McDonald's to get your money.
I thought he was like selling them to people all over the country too.
Well,
that was
No,
part of
it's actually of legal record. If you Google, you can't Google the name Asshat, but if you Google like McDonald's game piece scam and Bettendorf, Iowa, you can pretty much like figure out all that stuff. But
Yeah.
no, I lived the McDonald's game piece scam kind of inadvertently.
Wow.
They put me out of work on Christmas Eve. Yeah, no shit. I didn't
That's
know
crazy.
that.
Wow.
I just went Jordan on you there.
You're
It's
right.
all right.
You're okay. No, that is crazy. We just went from talking about what you did last night to like having our guy. He had to live it.
Great,
Yeah.
man. Well, it's a small world after all, Charlie Brown. I told you guys.
Small world. I sure hate to paint it though.
I hate to paint it.
I'm all over for sure. I'm out, guys.
See you, buddy. Thanks,
Thanks,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to tell me off air, Jay, who Ahad is. Ouch! My ears.
I got it. I got.
You do?
No. I thought I did. Well, I got it. Let's take a break and come back, and then we're gonna continue with Rosso, a conversation you and I started on Friday when we weren't on the air. We're gonna talk about the top 5 GM jobs in the NFL, why you would take it, and the bottom 5 worst GM jobs in the NFL, and explain why you would not want that job. So we'll do that when we come back. And again, Rosso's going to join us at some point as well.
Hey, Bomb Diggity.
What's up?
Let me tell you about Bayside Bistro.
Please do.
It's in the village of East Davenport, and they are not just your ordinary sandwich shop.
No.
You won't find any deli meat on their menu. They only use fresh ingredients and orders are made from scratch.
Oh, the best.
They have paninis, like their Bayside Po' Boy, and a roasted beet and green bean salad. How about that?
Delicious.
They have an incredible menu that specializes, Leah, get this, in deliciousness.
Oh, perfect. See, called
and
it.
Don't forget their smoothies and fresh juices that they make, and they also have incredible dinner entrees.
Oh, juices are my favorite.
Don't take my word for it, they're bombs. Check out their Facebook page and read over 500 recommendations from guests.
I will.
Amazing. Stop by Bayside Bistro today, Quad Cities, 1105 Christie Street in the East Village of Devon.
I just shared their post today because they did the gourmet popcorn. And you can call them and they'll make any type of flavor you want. And if you call today, you might be able to get your favorite team's colors together for gourmet popcorn. You can make a party for the draft.
You like that?
You like that?
This is Bobby Metcalf from the Quad City Times, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
These are uncertain times, but we at First Midwest Bank remain strong, remain committed to our clients, to our communities. And we want those who are uncertain in these uncertain times to know that even though we currently all need to stay apart, we are all in this together. First Midwest Bank. To learn more about how we're helping our clients adjust through this difficult period, visit firstmidwest.com. Member FDIC.
Social distancing slows the spread of coronavirus, so we should all stay home to lower the risk for everyone. More info at coronavirus.gov. Let's all do our part, because we're all #alone together. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
The Will Kane Show.
Joe Judge became head coach of the New York Giants. As I walked up today in the hallways, Mike A gave me that good to see you smile, but it's more like a wince because Nuno was nearby. We weren't really worried about anger so much as hurt feelings.
It was an apologetic look, like you'd see when you know somebody's had a rough day, like, how you holding up, big guy? How you doing, champ?
Wait a minute. We're all about honesty here. No one's like that. We want to see each other miserable. Like, that's what everyone was hoping for, is that I would be miserable, because it would have just been great for the show, right? Like, I would have to produce this show, and on a Monday after Jason Garrett's just sitting here clapping away, and then I can't even speak.
And just out of curiosity, not for any personal interest of mine or Mike A's or Bubba's, how miserable are you?
The Will Kane Show, 2 till 5 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
The Tangled Wood in Bettendorf is open for business. Skip the grocery store tonight and bring home their family meals to go, or unwind with one of their cocktails to go. Check out their Facebook for updates and give them a call at 563-949-1000. The Tangled Wood.
Gulick and Wingo.
I'm done with all you coaches talking about how you don't like the transfer portal. You can all stick it as far as I'm concerned. I mean, that's getting ridiculous about how you can do what you want, and that's cool. Again, I'm fine with that, but I absolutely think that a player should have one freebie move. And I'm done with you coaches and talking about that. You know, and players being able to have a little bit of movement on their side.
Coaches need to be a lot smarter on how they
a lot quieter.
Well,
you know?
Gulick and Wingo, mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Hi, I'm Mark Brenny from Brenny's Motorcycle Clinic with a few words about our current situation. Here at Brenny's, we are committed to being safe and responsible for the next foreseeable future. I intend on keeping my bike shop open to service our loyal customers. Keep in mind, motorcycle riding is social isolation. So, we have implemented curbside service for all parts, service, and sales. We will limit access to our buildings to those who need the help. Our employees are inside working on bike repairs, arranging financing for new and used units. We will pick up and or deliver units as necessary. Your best bet is to call on the phone or email our sales department with your requests or concerns. All our inventory is in our website, brennys.com. There's no joke or punchline in this commercial because I don't want to make anybody sick. However, when this thing gets back to normal, and they will, prepare yourself for some truly cutting-edge, tasteless humor from me. Sincerely, Mark Brenny, Brenny's Motorcycle Clinic, across from Alcoa. Almost.
Open the ESPN 1170 app to listen live, to win stuff, and to sign up for breaking news alerts. Never miss a thing from the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
All right, everybody, we're back. We figured out who Asshat is. We can't tell you the name.
You can Google it. Our boy Brown's backer told you exactly what to do to Google it. Take a look at it. So McMillions does have a Quad City background to it, which is kind of interesting. So, now I'm going to go back. Like I said, I didn't have my attention. I am really shocked that you can pull out of a documentary and just start from where it is, and it does. Like I'm already in. I have to go all the way through this because it's not a series, right? It's just a documentary.
Yeah.
When you said like I made it up to the point, and then we're gonna watch it later.
It's a series. But
it is. Okay.
It's a docu-series.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then I thought it was like just a 2 hour one.
Yeah. So we had to watch whatever episode I think I watched. They're probably 45-minute episodes. I think I watched 6 or 7 of them.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Speaking of docu-series, The Tiger King.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm on this group, right? Free Joe Exotic. These people take this very, very seriously.
You're trying to free that dude?
I am not. I think he's a POS, and I even said so on the thread, and I can't tell you how many death threats I have acquired.
Wait, is this a Facebook group?
This is a Facebook group with over 1 million people in it.
What was the group that you were in that I'm like, what was it? It was like 2 weeks ago. You're like, I had this group of friends, and I'm like, what thread are you talking about?
It depends on which group. Was it like the Ben Shapiro group, a political group, or something like that?
No, it was something weirder.
But I'm telling you, these people are like, get off this page if you're not going to defend Joe. And we love Joe, and if you're not a fan, why are you here?
Not a fan.
Like, settle down, Karens. Like, they are upset. It's scary. He's innocent. They take it super serious. This guy told me he'd pray for me because I said he was a POS.
Well, it's they're the same people that were in for Brennan on Making a Murderer. They were on that page.
Kid's innocent.
What?
I don't think he's innocent.
100% the kid is innocent because really all he cared about is if he was going to make it home in time for WrestleMania.
Yeah,
like he was going to say anything at the time to go see WrestleMania.
He's got the mental capacity of like a 6-year-old. That was.
But I'm just saying
that's an insult to 6-year-olds.
My point is that they're going on to the next thing. They just watch and they just automatically assume everything's happening. Like
it's crazy. They're like putting money on his books and like they're like writing their governors to. I mean, it's
Jesus.
These people are scary.
Jeez Louise.
They're the same people who call the cops if you're out walking your dog right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know how to do it, I'll show you how to walk the dog.
Oh my God. Is that like a thing?
Is that a yo-yo reference?
Is that a position? I don't understand.
A yo-yo? Did you just do a yo-yo chick reference there? Dad?
Actually, it's a cover song by Rat. I want to say Aerosmith did it first.
Rat's been making a comeback in commercials.
Dude, Rat's awesome.
Did you see that?
Do they spell R-I-T?
R-A-T-T. Come on, dude.
Yeah, I think it's a Geico commercial.
Is it really?
Rat's back, yeah.
Oh, see it.
And just rocking the round and round.
Round and round.
Yeah.
And that was their first hit.
It's not like they're cutting back to the video. It's them in their age right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to look up Walk the Dog.
All right, let's have a conversation out there, everybody. Hi, Serge.
Hey, gang.
What's up, big guy?
You, baby.
I got you,
now,
I got you on the TV.
Hey, you've got the opportunity to become GM of any NFL team.
Nah.
Quick. That was quick.
But the smart move is not, I'm just going to take my favorite team. The smart move's not, I'm just going to go to the nicest city or cost of living. The smart move, I would assume, but we'll hear everybody out, would be, is ownership stable? Is the history there? Is my coach stable? Quarterback. I mean, there's certain things
you
in
should
there.
ask yourself: is my wife a whore?
Whoa!
Do I not pay enough?
Hey now.
So,
once my mother dies, I'll have
what
nothing
would
to do
be you think of the top 5 GM jobs in the NFL and why?
I got my 5.
Give me one, and I'll tell you if it's not that my agreement's right because I want to hear everyone's argument. Well, give me one.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's your number 1 pick?
No.
I do believe the Pittsburgh Steelers would be in the top 5. Great coach, great ownership, legacy, great fan base.
Correct.
You've got the right people in there that tell you what they think. They have a great history at the draft of finding the next great wide receiver. So obviously someone's doing something right, and you're listening to the right people. I think the Steelers are definitely in the top 5 if you're going to take a GM job.
I never would have picked them.
You wouldn't have?
No, that's a good call.
Yeah. I think they're definitely there.
I got the other one.
There's going to be one that people are not going to agree with. That
Oh,
it
I
took me a
guarantee
while,
it.
and then I agree.
I put
with
the
you.
Cowboys in there.
Of course.
It's the
That is an automatic.
It's the number one franchise.
The number. Okay, make your
Like,
case because the
cost-
first thing everyone's going to say is
Jerry.
there's no.
Right,
Yep.
yep,
Okay.
Everyone's going to say Jerry.
Make
but
your
I'm going
case.
to tell you right now, if Jerry hires you to take over as GM, he's got your back better than he did Jason Garrett's. You follow me? If he hires you to take over for him, look how much he. Look how long he gave Jason Garrett. If he loves you enough to take over for him,
He's gonna help
you're
groom
in.
you. Is that what you're saying?
He's just going to have your back.
All right.
Yeah, because he's not going to hire
You're
someone to
talking
do
about
his job
fan
to
base.
fail.
You're talking about.
Well, it's the number one
legacy.
valued team in the
number
NFL.
one valued team in the NFL. If you bring the Super Bowl back to Dallas, you're going to be your book deals and everything are going to be insane. Okay?
You got book deals. You've got you've got an owner who's not
you're
afraid
upper
to,
class by Tuesday.
You're already making appearances.
You've got an owner who's not afraid to open up the checkbook.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a franchise that is a destination franchise for a player.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
You're putting together a team that plays in one of the worst divisions in NFL football.
Right now, watch your mouth. I'll tell you what, that division's got a lot of Super Bowls in it. So
they do.
Yeah. I can name a division that there's teams that have 0 Super Bowls.
You can name a division teams that have zero.
Your favorite team, the division they're in.
You're wrong.
There's two teams that division have 0 Super Bowls.
Oh, I thought you meant like in the entire division. I was like, yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, are 2 of them like expansion?
No, they're like
teams?
a long time. They're the Lions and the Vikings. They don't have a Super Bowl.
Okay, yeah.
You're
I thought you were trying to
just watch it.
make a dig at
We're
the.
going to talk history here, Mr. History Teacher.
It's just not a very good division. But anyway, you can win that division.
Right now, it's not a very good division.
The Cowboys, I think the immediate response would be, no way is that a good GM
You go
spot.
back to 1990. It went. The Giants won the Super Bowl, Redskins won the Super Bowl, Dallas won it twice.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty
Giants
good
have
division
2
back
wins
then.
against
I'm
the
just saying,
Patriots. Yes,
it
the
was a
Eagles
very good
just
division
won it
back
not
then.
too long ago.
So divisions can go up and down. So I'm just saying, strength of divisions can go up and down.
Texas isn't a bad place to live.
Nope.
You got things like
No
Six
state
Flags
tax.
down there. Kids are, a good place. You got good high school football, good facilities, good schools that you can send your kids to. University of Texas. If you really, you can create a life down there.
Yeah.
And like you said, book deals if you win, right? You're right.
Oh yeah. Gotta love the book deals, man.
That's the first thing I'm telling my
I'm a big
agent.
book writer.
Find me a place where I'm guaranteed to land a book deal when this is all said and
I'm
done.
a big time book writer.
Yeah.
I'm a book
I know.
writing fool.
Trust me, I'm an author. I can smell them. Yeah,
All
you're
right.
there.
The other one in here, the San Francisco 49ers.
The San Francisco 49ers, top place. But this is coming from the side of the room that says California is a bad place to be.
Well, that was the downside of it, but you could just move out to Napa Valley. And that's what I would do.
It's still in California.
I'm just saying, I would move out to Napa Valley.
It's out on the skirts.
Good legacy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you what's going on with the ownership now. Nice shirt, Serge.
Nice face.
Well, no, I mean, it was. Well, I guess I do have a nice face, so I shouldn't think you're.
I mean it right back, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks, though.
Yeah.
Thanks for noticing.
Yeah.
You guys gonna make out? Or?
It's like
Don't worry about it.
The shirt, your shirt opens up and his open up. It's Teen Wolf
It's weird.
shirt. Yeah.
It's almost like I planned it.
Yeah, it's cool. So
God.
I like the 49ers. I think they should probably be up there. They've got, let's see, not an established coach, but one that's got a reputation because of his father.
Mm-hmm.
You've got what you think is a franchise quarterback. You got the legacy. You've got the fan base.
Yeah.
Tough division. But
Very tough division.
okay, 49ers. They're in the talk.
The New England Patriots.
The New England Patriots.
Yeah, I knew somebody was gonna say that.
The New England Patriots definitely should be in the top 5.
You're obviously right now you're in challenge, but if you could continue the winning ways there.
If you do everything the Patriot way,
Well, I'm saying
come in
you have things built. I mean, it's like
Don't cross it up.
when we talk to the young man from the Bison.
Yeah.
The veteran leadership there passes on things, and if you can keep that mentality going and pass it on to the pros, You got something going there. A loyal fan base. I mean, you're going to have to deal with a few Sullys in your day, but that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Patriots right now. Tradition, history, all that. It's there.
I only have 2.
And my last one in the top 5.
I don't have 5 I can think of.
And I say this just because of history, but I have to say Green Bay.
That was one of my picks. I agree.
Definitely in the argument. Hate to have to answer to 300,000 people that think a piece of toilet paper is ownership.
You win a Super Bowl in Green Bay, they love you forever.
You've got the legacy. You've got the fan base.
Mm-hmm. Marketability.
You've got the. You're not competing with much in that state. Like I said, it doesn't matter. You're going to deal with 300,000 plus fans no matter where you go. So, but really, it's the people that are telling you that their piece of toilet paper that they hang on the wall says that they're a shareholder.
I had a tough time with one team, and I didn't know. I thought about this team a lot, and that's the Bears. And the reason I struggled with it,
okay,
was I'm not sure how good. Do we like the McCaskies as owners?
Okay.
They're kind of milquetoast, right, Sergi? As a fan,
yeah.
How do you feel? No, the other thing,
old.
Yeah. Now the other thing with Chicago, and this is why I don't have any New York teams on here.
Right.
You're dealing with the press there.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Just an overbearing press. I mean, second guessing everything. I mean, you're going to be.
But like you said about Green Bay, you win a Super Bowl there, they're going to love you forever type of thing.
Yes.
Chicago is going to be very, very similar. Chicago, actually, their standards are, I would say that they're a little bit lower.
And then this is why I thought about that. I can't remember who the GM was when Ditka won the Super Bowl.
I should know this.
And that's why you follow what I'm saying here. Follow my line of thought. Now think about this, and this is the other reason I thought about the Bears, and I teetered back and forth. We all know who the GM was when the Bulls were winning it all. Nobody liked him.
When they weren't?
When they were winning it all.
Yeah.
And nobody liked him.
Well,
I'm just saying it's a tough call. I don't think the Bears I don't think it's a bad job. But it was tough for me to put it top 5 because there was the press factor and the few little things that, they're going to love you or hate you in Chicago, I kind of feel like.
Jim Finks.
Jim Finks was the GM.
No.
During the 85-86, or Jim Finks is the GM now? He's not the GM now.
Pop, I think you're wrong on this one. It's Jerry Vainisi.
Okay.
Vainisi.
Is that Serge's dad?
Yeah. It's
Hi, Serge's dad.
All right, I got one for you.
Okay.
Kansas City Chiefs.
No, you can't take mine.
Well, I'm sorry,
I was
Bomber. I
just gonna
apologize.
say it.
Then I'm co-signing whatever Bomber's going to say next. I'm automatically co-signing whatever her pick is. What's your pick, Bomber, for the top?
Those Kansas City Chiefs.
That's a legit.
You got a little bit of history there. You got
a good ownership in that family, the Hunts.
Loyal fan base.
You got
the Hunt family goes back ways.
Loyal fan
GM
base.
right now is
the coach.
The coach.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different story. That's kind of why I kind of.
There's going to be a lot of them because I'm going to tell you where I think the bottom one is, and right now it's the GM is the coach. So.
Well, there's you want my bottoms?
But here's another one for you.
I want your bottoms.
Can you? All right. Who do you think? What are the top GMs right now? Just real quick before we go to break and we do the bottom 5 or whatever else. Who do you think? Who do you think are good GMs right now? What comes across as, because if anyone's there that has created a legacy, that might not be a place you want to follow. Do you hear me? What I'm saying there?
But Dallas has Tex Schramm was the legacy there. You know what I'm saying? Green Bay's had a couple different runs there.
Yeah.
I mean, Ted Thompson was
that's the one. I think that name sticks out just because of the whole Favre thing and going through that. So,
the Niners had
DeBartolo.
DeBartolo or whatever. Now, obviously, Lynch.
And wasn't Switzer GM and coach also?
At Dallas?
Yeah, it was.
No.
He wasn't?
No,
Okay.
Jerry took over GM almost immediately.
Okay.
When he
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I'm just saying if there is a GM that's the
Ozzie Newsome was the one that, and he's kind of, I think he just retired, but he was
Baltimore.
Yeah. Ozzie Newsome was
And then-
considered a very good GM for a long time.
Like the guy out there in San Francisco, Lynch, he's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like I said, that's a tough one. Let's take a break. Let's take a break and come back and talk about the bottom 5 worst GM jobs that would be in the NFL. And somewhere along the line, Ross will talk to us from Hawkeye headquarters as well.
You better.
Okay.
Tired of waiting on him.
Always waiting on Ross.
He grew his
So.
hair out.
Jeez.
We've been waiting on Ross. So.
Hey, L-Bombs.
Hey.
Have you heard of my buddy Tim Hernandez?
I have.
He wants you to focus on fun, and he wants you to find a new way to get fit for you and your family.
I like fun.
ID Life is his thing. He wants you to be healthier, have more energy, get better sleep, and achieve more focus.
I'm in.
ID Life is a health and wellness company that is revolutionizing the industry with their customized nutrition.
Awesome.
The name stands for Individually Designed Life and was founded on the principle that no two people are alike. Look at Jay, look at Serge. Not even
Not
close.
alike.
Yep.
Nope.
So everyone has unique nutritional needs. Tim says he is your guy in the Quad Cities. All you have to do is go to him for personalized guidance that's tailored specifically for your health factors and personal goals.
Awesome.
Do you have health problems that may be holding you back? The doctors and scientists develop nutrients that should help you with the supplements that you need to benefit the most. Go to qchealth.idlife.com to sign up for an unconditional, no questions asked, 30-day money-back guarantee. Call Tim Hernandez today, 563-508-7221, and he can show you what it makes that makes ID Life different as you.
This is WQAD's Matt Randazzo, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5.
When the soil around your foundation shifts, it can cause serious problems for your home, including bowing, leaning, or cracked basement wall. For basement wall repair, trust Helitech. Helitech is the area's only contractor that uses AB Chance, an American-made wall anchoring system to provide a permanent solution for bowing or cracked foundation walls. Helitech is your hometown foundation repair contractor. Helitech has been proudly serving the Quad Cities for over 30 years. They healed my home. They'll heal yours too. Helitech.
Heal your home with Helitech.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Dan and Stu, not only is the shipping container headlined by Roy and Chris opening up the Cat's Den pregame, but I have just received word that the shipping container will be playing sumo hockey during the second intermission.
Wow.
All right.
Let me know how that goes.
Billy doesn't look in. Why is
Dan,
Billy?
you down for this too,
Why is
or
Billy skeptical?
supporting us?
Billy, I think I should do that with you guys.
I mean, you're in luck you won't need a costume.
Because you're fat.
Oh, no.
I heard it the first time off the mic. Thank you, Chris.
Hammered it home, though.
That would be funny. Let's do it that way, actually. You guys are in the costume, and I'm just out there as myself.
The Dan Le Batard Show, 9 till noon on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Nolly's Kitchen is your home for the freshest, most authentic Mexican food. And they're open for carryout and delivery. Enjoy their made-from-scratch menu prepared just for you and delivered curbside or to your home or business. Carry out their homemade guisados, guaraches, and gorditas, or have their amazing tacos and burritos delivered today. Download their new Nolly's app, pay online, and then enjoy the easiest way to get the most authentic Mexican food in the Quad Cities. Nolly's Kitchen, old-fashioned Mexican cooking, Rockingham and Division, Davenport.
Car old? Need it sold? Get rid of that old car and do a good deed at the same time. It's the Arrowhead Ranch Annual Auto Auction coming soon to Coal Valley. That's right, it's back. Donate your car, truck, SUV, or motorcycle, and if you live within 40 miles of Coal Valley, they will even pick it up, even if it doesn't run. All donations are tax deductible. Call 309-799-7044 or visit them online at arrowheadyouth.org. Car old? Need it sold? Arrowhead Ranch Annual Auto Auction. Stay tuned for an auction date in Coal Valley.
These are uncertain times, but we at First Midwest Bank remain strong, remain committed to our clients, to our communities. And we want those who are uncertain in these uncertain times to know that even though we currently all need to stay apart, we are all in this together. First Midwest Bank. To learn more about how we're helping our clients adjust through this difficult period, visit firstmidwest.com. Member FDIC.
Join the conversation. Follow ESPN 1170 AM on Facebook and Twitter. From the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
complaining about everything. I love it, though. We're having fun. Good times.
Yeah, I hear you. So we just got done. Rosso's going to join us in a minute here soon. He's going to call in, and we're going to talk to him. Oh, you know what? There he is.
There he is.
So let's talk to Adam Rosso, WHBF Hawkeye headquarters.
Rosso, what's up, big cat?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not much. Wanted you to call in. You're heading to the studio right now?
Yeah, again, a couple things actually draft-related done. Hawkeyes draft-related done. I'm going to do a 3 bold predictions for what's going to transpire this weekend, and also a couple things left over from the Combine. Kirk had a couple comments last week in the Zoom interview just about kind of the challenges it's been for these pro guys to evaluate because they didn't have the pro days at Iowa, and they didn't have as much face-to-face interaction. So he had a couple of interesting comments, and I got Matt Bowen, the ESPN analyst. He joined me at the Combine, so I got some good stuff from him that I'm going to use. So working on both those things today. They're going to run tomorrow and Thursday on Local 4.
Are your bold predictions all Hawkeye related, or are they just in general?
Yep, all Hawkeye related. There'll be 3 of them.
Okay.
The more I read up on things, one of them in particular isn't that bold anymore, but I'm going to go with it. But it's interesting to me. I feel like as we transition into pumping our fearsome foursome mock draft tonight, going to be must see streaming online. That's for sure. For everybody else. But
I think so.
Yeah.
I think as we, and I don't know, maybe you guys feel differently, but I feel like it's been less. I'll say less unknowns, I guess, which makes me think there's going to be a lot of unknowns. Like, I feel like a lot of the mocks I've looked at and a lot of the experts, like, things kind of are converging, or they did in the last week maybe. And to me, that means, like, there's maybe a lot more smoke out there than we think, or it means that maybe teams are going to be more conservative. I don't know. But I thought by this point we would have a trade either into the Detroit or the New York Giants spot. We haven't had that. And I also thought that maybe there'd be some just some more chatter on, I guess, that second-tier quarterbacks, whether it's Jordan Love, Eason, whoever you want to throw in there. I don't feel like we're hearing too much of that. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, the thing that you're talking, I do think there'll be some, after yesterday's mock draft and they had so much trouble with it, I think there'll be some trades that are already figured out beforehand. And maybe they don't want to announce it. Maybe they do. I don't know about that. Or they might do the whole, you just pick for us and we'll swap out later type of thing. This is the guy that we want because they don't want anything to get changed. I also am interested more about teams trading back to get draft picks for next year when they can actually, well, assuming that they can spend more time with these draft picks. Because the ones that are in the later rounds are the ones you have to do more evaluating player-wise and everything else and having interviews. So I'm wondering more if you're going to see people draft back to get more draft picks next year, if you understand what I'm saying.
That's an interesting point, yeah, just so they have, because they are banking on having more eval and face-to-face and in-person evaluation stuff. That's a good point.
You brought up a couple quarterbacks, and I've been looking at prop bets. The number right now from William Hill is the over-under is 4 quarterbacks taken in the first round. Eason would make it 5. So I think actually the smart bet would be to take the over 4 and just kind of expect for a push. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, geez. Jordan Love dropping out of the first round, I can't see that. I think he could be one of those guys like a Bridgewater, even like Lamar, where, where at pick 25, he's still sitting there, and I think somebody could rise back up and snatch him if that's the case, or there could be a team that loves him and, the team. Who knows? I think that's what, that's what I'm saying on this. Like, I don't know if teams are going to be bold. I don't know. We'll see. I'm really fascinated. That to me is almost as fascinating as, a mock draft is, like you're saying. What teams are bold? Who wants to say, you know what? We don't have a ton of guys on our board we like right now because we haven't been able to evaluate them on day 3. We want to get those day 3 picks next year. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that – I don't know. I still think there's 3 quarterbacks in the top 6. We'll see. I've been saying that for 3-4 months now. But, there's smoke with Tua's health. There's smoke with that Herbert, is loved by the Dolphins. So I don't know. I think that's very intriguing. Obviously, go ahead.
Well, I guess my problem with Herbert is his lack of accuracy. I mean, I don't see the Dolphins or the Chargers reaching on that guy. I really don't. I see him going for Tua. The fact of Tua's injury, I don't think is going to play out that as negative for him. There's just too much leadership going on and everything. I mean, it's on the tape for him throughout his career at Alabama. So I think if anything, we see the Chargers or the Dolphins trade up to 3 to get him. Maybe draft day, like you said, you haven't seen it happen yet, but I think it happens draft day. I really have Herbert falling back to where he really is in the draft. He's ranked like the 18th prospect. I think he dropped somewhere back to around 17 to 20.
And see, I agree. That's what I initially thought, that if either of them fell, it would be Herbert, right? Like I thought eventually at some point somebody's going to say Tua's too talented even with an injury.
Or Love jumps Herbert. That's the only other thought I had.
And I don't know if we're going to see that. I think the interesting thing that you said with Detroit, being a trade partner, same with the Giants. Why does San Diego or Miami need to trade up to get a quarterback? Neither of those teams are taking a quarterback.
That's my thing. I kind of had it in mind. I left it alone because I just don't see the need. You don't listen. The first 2 picks I think are set and staying. Detroit doesn't need a quarterback. There's no way they're taking a quarterback, and I don't think the Giants are either. So if Miami and L.A. stay where they're at, the only thing I would think is L.A. would want to trade up to get Tua before Miami does. And that's where Miami... So they're both fighting to trade up to get Tua. That's the thing I see.
Well, then is all this Herbert smoke because they don't want the Chargers to trade up and say, hey, we're going to take Tua? Miami's really going to take Tua at 5, but they want them to think, hey, they're going to take Herbert, so we don't need to move up. It's all that gamesmanship that, what's real, what's not. I agree with you, though. I think I would be surprised if those teams didn't stay put, and it would be tough for the Giants or Detroit to find a trade partner because I don't think anybody's going all in this year on either of those 2 guys. I don't think anybody's, offering multiple first-round picks for anybody to go up.
I don't think so either, and I think like a team like the Chargers would be better off if they just sit back and wait and see what happens. If it goes the way I'm thinking, I mean, they might be able to get a guy like Isaiah Simmons to fall in their lap at 6, or Tristan Wirfs. Go ahead and either play with Tyrod Taylor or roll your dice. Maybe you get lucky and grab Cam for a year or whatever, and then you just play the cards, and maybe you play for next year, and you say, okay, as the Chargers, we're all in on Hippie Boy from Clemson.
Do you think it's going to lend itself to more teams taking just the best available guy? That's
what I
have. That they're going to say, you know what, we got our draft board, and hey, we might need a quarterback right now, but we really like Simmons. So rather than even Miami, rather than go, we say we want to anchor of our defense. We're going to wait on it. Maybe we'll get somebody at 18, whether it's Jordan Love or Herbert.
And that's the thing.
We're not going to reach
at 18. If Miami wanted to, if Simmons falls there, Miami could take that, and then at 18 they could take Jordan Love, or possibly still get Herbert if he falls, and then they still have that pick at 26 to get another offensive lineman if they wanted. I have him taking Tua and then Josh Jones. The tackle from where's Jones from? I lost track.
Houston.
Yeah, that's right, Houston.
I don't know. We can't do any trades tonight, though. Jay Foster ruling with the iron fist.
No. That's what I was going to tell you, and I've been looking at this. I thought about this today, and I thought, all right, there's got to be some trades. We have to be smart about this. We're not just going to do it straight out.
Proposed trades. I have some proposed trades.
So, but I'm trying to figure out if Serge, if you could help me out, because I'm trying to figure out what the prop bet is for a number of trades in the first round. So what I was going to use that as a guideline is we can't go over that number. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't mind it at all, and especially it's interesting because how it works out, and I already explained that we're drafting by divisions, and we're doing the teams in those divisions. So sometimes you might be trading with yourself, and you have to obviously justify it. I mean, none of us are, like I was talking to T. Roy about it, none of us are just going to just trade all our picks to our favorite team and just be like, well, it could happen. Do you know what I'm saying?
I traded picks 1 through 5 to Dallas.
Oh, yeah. So anyway.
So I got this all set.
So, yes, I do think we should have a number that we just can't go over and get too crazy because it is important to hear some things out because, like I said, I think some people should trade back. I'm very, very interested into seeing what the Patriots, this whole thing that they're recklessly speculating how the Patriots could pull a Philadelphia Eagles when they went from like 20-something up to 10, up to 2 to get Carson Wentz, and the Patriots can do something very similar to get Tua. So I'm interested to hear these things out.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, I'm interested to hear them. I guess I'm more pessimistic on how much action there's going to be, just based on like kind of what you said. Why are you going to mortgage a couple first-round picks or a second-round pick or give away picks when you don't know if these guys, you haven't worked out with these guys as much as you normally would.
Yeah.
NFL is all about risk aversion, right? Whatever's the least risky, a lot of these teams do. And I feel like that's, you kind of hit on the head saying, like, if anything, we might see guys trading back in the first round, trying to get more picks next year, whether it's second-round picks next year, third round, fourth, fifth, whatever.
Yep.
Just saying, you know what? Our draft board's limited this year from where we want it. And if there's guys, hey, that we like, yeah, we'll take them in the late round. But if not, we're going to get out and stockpile for next year. You look at Miami, they have 14. They were going to do that this year. Now, does Miami say that? Does Miami say, you know what? We got our guy at 5. We'll trade a couple first-round picks late, one or two of them, and we'll try to get another one next year maybe. I don't know.
What's your thoughts on the defensive end out of Penn State, Gross Matos?
I mean, I haven't obviously scrutinized his tape. He's got an interesting backstory. I'll say that. I think he had a couple of tragedies in his life. I feel like he's more of a prototypical edge rusher than obviously AJ is, especially with the speed questions. I don't know. To me, those guys, it's not a particularly strong edge class. Those guys are all about fit. Like, AJ's not going to go in to be a speed rusher, on a team like a Von Miller. Like, he's not going to do that. He's got to be in the right fit to be a 3-down lineman. Same thing with Gross Matos or even the kid from LSU, Chason.
Yeah.
Kind of undersized, got a lot of speed. He's not going to be a guy that, anchoring your run defense, but he's going to come off the edge. He's going to maybe play similar to Von Miller. So
yeah, Matos is a little bit bigger than the other two.
I think they're all about fit, and that's sound like a broken record here. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think all these guys that we think are, AJ included, that are probably from pick 20-ish to early in the second round, like, all these guys, they have to project how they fit into their system just because maybe they didn't get them to work out the drills that they do. Like, I don't know if a lot of teams have position-specific drills that they run these guys through at pro days, but I think in those meetings when they, go to the facilities, I think they do a lot more, X's and O's with their system, maybe some drills with how, the movements that those guys have to make or the steps or the techniques that they want their guys to play with. Like, you think how Mike Zimmer coaches D-backs. Maybe Zim runs those guys through some, hand technique and a lot more things that maybe guys at the college level don't get. Well, now this year he didn't get to do that. So, like I'm saying, fascinating with how these guys are going to have to lean on, A, some relationships from years past, which I think will help the Iowa guys, and B, how they think they can coach them and how they fit into their specific scheme. Maybe that does lend itself to best player available because they said, this guy's got talent, we'll be able to coach him. Or maybe they say, you know what, this guy's raw. We don't know how he's going to look, but this guy's more polished. We know he projects as our 3 technique on pass rush situations like AJ would, stuff like that.
Yeah, so tonight we're going to do this at 7 o'clock. It'll be on on this page, Facebook Live, I need to create an event. We do need to do we need to do our own NFL rough draft beforehand before we go live at 7 to make sure that we got this thing up and running. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see Vasco as well. So,
Big Dan.
Yeah, Rosso, thank you for your time. Good luck on getting your stuff done, and good luck on the draft tonight. Oh, one more thing I want to ask you about.
Yep.
About this draft and about how it's all, virtual and everything else, and they've already had trouble with it yesterday. And that's why I think some of these trades will already be taken care of ahead of time, because I don't know the year. Didn't the Vikings one time just completely waste the clock down and lost a pick?
Yeah, it was they picked Kevin Williams. The Chiefs jumped in front of them and picked Sims was his last name, Brian Sims maybe.
Yeah.
And then they got Kevin Williams right after, which turned out to work out fine because Williams was a stud. And I don't even know how long Sims played in the league, but yeah, they did that. It went down. They were debating between those two players. The clock ran out. The Chiefs ran up, put their pick in. The Vikings were late. I read somewhere else too. There was one in the '80s where the Bucs had two guys, and they had two names on a card, and the guy that was supposed to bring up the right card brought the wrong card, and the Bucs didn't want the guy. So there's mishaps every so often, even without technology. So it will be kind of fun to see if
that's what that's what I'm looking to, because I think there are going to be a lot of those anticipating the problem, hey, we can't because of trades or being on the phone and worrying about time, and all of a sudden there's a glitch. Or, I don't know, internet goes out, or, and then all of a sudden someone's texting the commissioner and being like, internet's out again.
Mm-hmm. What's the password, Roger?
Yeah, that got locked out of Zoom.
We're all doing this in Roger's basement, everybody.
They're texting.
Hit the pause.
Yeah.
Hit the pause.
Yeah.
Roger's dog just coughed up a bone. Someone, hold on, time out of the draft. Pee break.
It's totally Andy Reid. He doesn't know how to do anything. Everyone's texting Andy on the side. You're up, Andy. Let's go.
Hey, can we take shots? Can we pause and take some shots?
Pee break. we have to stop to use the restroom.
Yeah. Or smoke break. We have Bato there. Yeah. Hold on, man. I got a smoking heater, okay?
Yeah. It's worse than every NFL fantasy draft you've ever been part of. There's 32 of them.
Hey, hold on, guys. I know we got 2 picks left first round. Pizza's here, though, so we don't want that to get cold. Everybody just wait, okay?
So, all right. So we're going to do this tonight. It should be a lot of fun. I look forward to it, and I want to thank you for calling in.
You bet. Sounds good. We'll talk to you guys tonight.
All right. Thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. It's Adam Rosso from WHBF, Hawkeye headquarters. Like I said, me, T-Roy, Vasco, and him will do a mock draft. There will be some trades in there. We'll talk it out. We'll laugh. We'll make fun of each other's picks. We'll tell each other how dumb we are and all kinds of fun stuff. Sounds exactly like how it's going to go, though.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that is one thing, a good point, though, that Kurt here says in the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread. It won't be the same without the booze. If I was Goodell, I would bring in audio of the booze, I just to have fun with it. I mean, if he's smart, he'll just be like, NFL announces Roger Goodell, and he says and it just gets booed.
Well, tonight, when we're filming this tonight, we're gonna get figured out. I'm gonna have a cigar and a glass of whiskey, so I can look like Jordan.
There you go.
Put one of Amy's little hoop earrings in.
You should do that. Yeah. Let's take a quick break and come back.
All right, we're talking about pizza bombs.
Yes.
You know what I love about pizza
bombs.
All of it.
I love Vans Pizza.
Ooh.
By the way, Van Sever's been playing with a lot of stuff there, and it's so good. Some of the ideas he's coming up with. But anyway, Quad Cities Vans Pizza and More is open during this COVID-19 crisis. Brought to you by who?
Who?
Our friends at China. That's right. All you got to do is call Vans Pizza and More at 563-232-1396. They are open 11 to 9 daily with delivery all day long to help everybody get fed during our time of need. And right now the specials cannot be beat. A $5 cheeseburger basket, $7 double cheeseburger basket, a $5 personal pizza, a $7 personal specialty pizza, $9 for any medium, and $12 for any large. All you got to do, once again, that number, 563-232-1396 is call, and they're going to have that hot and ready for pickup or delivery anywhere in Bettendorf or LeClaire. That's Vans Pizza and More, 5023 Competition Drive in Bettendorf.
Bomber, you need to shut up. You talk too much.
I know, sorry.
This is Matt Koss of the Quad City Times, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
These are uncertain times, but we at First Midwest Bank remain strong, remain committed to our clients, to our communities. And we want those who are uncertain in these uncertain times to know that even though we currently all need to stay apart, we are all in this together. First Midwest Bank. To learn more about how we're helping our clients adjust through this difficult period, visit firstmidwest.com. Member FDIC.
When should you call 811? Whenever you plant a tree, build a fence, or add a new structure to your place. Call 811 at least 2 business days before you dig to have underground utilities marked. Stay safe. Call before you dig. It's the law. Visit MidAmericanEnergy.com for more safety tips.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
See. Very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Roy, who is feeling older every day, and I think this is universal for people in sports, that you sort of can calendar your own age by guys you saw growing up playing when you loved sports, having kids who are now playing sports. But Roy has never felt older than he did during the break when, very sadly, he just said to me, Frank Gore's kid has enrolled at Southern Miss. And it's the first time you can remember an active athlete of any sort having a kid. But it's only because Frank Gore has been in the league 4 yards at a time since 1982.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere.
Why would you when you still get 4 yards?
Frank Gore Jr. is going to put it on the poll, Antonio. Is Frank Gore Jr. going to retire from football sooner than Frank Gore Sr.?
The Dan Le Batard Show, 9 till noon on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Sheedy Family Chiropractic is your choice for chiropractic care in the Quad Cities. Chronic problems, joint pain, or recent injury, don't let pain slow you down. Sheedy Family Chiropractic in Davenport can help decrease your pain and improve range of motion, keeping your busy life moving. Same-day appointments available most days for new patients and $20 sports physicals. Call today or visit SheedyChiro.com. That's SHEEDY Chiro.com. Sheedy Family Chiropractic, getting you back to work, play, and life.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay. Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
At a time of personal loss, we each express our feeling in our own way. Whelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory recognize that no one service is right for everyone. That's why we offer various options for the most appropriate service, the most fitting farewell, and personalized attention to detail. Whelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, Rock Island, Milan, Reynolds, and the Knox Chapel.
From the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studios, this is the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KPOB, Davenport.
And we're back here in the Hassle Castle, brought to you by Dunright Satellite and Dish, and this is Don't Hassle Us Local on AM 1170.
I want to thank Adam Ross for calling in. In any minute, Jake's from Elite Sportsbook's going to call us. The one thing that I don't, for some reason, I don't know why the state of Iowa, the Iowa Racing and Gaming Association, is not allowing prop bets for the NFL draft. Even though you can find them online, William Hill, and I know they have them down there. Elite Sportsbook doesn't have them either. But real quick, and I was actually just saving it for you, T-Roy. So some of the prop bets you can pick on, you can pick are like individual players as well, draftees. And Tristan Wirfs, the draft position that William Hill has him at, over under 8.5.
Okay.
Do you think he's going to go before 8? Do you think he's going to go pick 8 or above, or 9 and below? In 8 after over 8.5 is plus 130. Under 8.5 is minus 150. For those of you out there who are familiar, plus 130 means if you put up 100, you win 130 if you're right. You put up a minus 150, you have to put up 150 to 100.
Because he's still considered a college player?
I don't know. We can ask Jake that. I know we asked him last week. Look, Jake right there. So go ahead and pick him up.
Hey, Jake, you're like a good neighbor, buddy. Welcome to the house.
Hey, Jake.
Jeez.
How's it going?
I'm safe, Harp.
Good, brother. So we were just talking about draft possibilities for Tristan Wirfs, and is the reason we can't bet on where he's going to go is because he's still considered a college player?
I think that's kind of where the IRGC is getting their reasoning from. They aren't necessarily very clear on, why or why not certain bets are legal or not legal. I can tell you this, though. Our risk management team has seen similar things happen in other states where they're new to sports betting. The regulatory governing body in that state, 1 year will say no to the draft, and then the next year they may actually allow it. So there's a little bit of hope for next year. As far as some of the reasoning goes.
I think
we might not have this virus going on next year, though. I mean, we might not be as focused.
It might not be next year.
I love Wes. He's a fan of the show, but I think we're dropping the ball here by the IGRC of not allowing this to happen, which is probably going to be the most viewed draft that we can imagine because, we need this.
Right, exactly. And I know we asked before this whole thing happened, the COVID thing, and it was a no, and we did bring it up again. It's during these circumstances, can we relook at this? And there was a no again.
Was it like the GIF or GIF? Is they call it GIF or a GIF? Was it like the GIF? Am I saying GIF? Is it GIF?
I don't know.
I don't know. Is it like the thing with Austin Powers? No! How about no? Was it like that? Was that what it was?
It should be GIF, but the person who came up with it says GIF.
Okay. Choose GIF.
This is how much this is how much from driving here to when I come here, I listen to Le Batard, like automatically was just about to be like, Guillermo, put it on the poll. Is it GIF or GIF? Stu Gotts, tell me more. Yeah, that's about the way I felt all of a sudden. That was a good Le Batard, wasn't it?
It was really good.
Yeah, thanks.
You're going to have to gain a lot of weight.
It's not your best work, Jay Foster.
It's not. Jake, what's going on at Elite Sportsbook?
This weekend, actually, we've been seeing a lot of action on Belarus and Nicaraguan soccer. So this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, some Belarusian soccer.
Okay, hold on. Slow down. Belarus and Nicaraguan soccer, right?
Yep. I'm brushing up on my international soccer in the past couple of weeks. But
I can't believe you didn't text me about this, Jake, and tell me to take a look at this. Now I'm just looking at it, pulling it up now. I would have Belarus and Nicaraguan soccer. Oh yeah, it's at the very top on the left there. It is. It's got some movement.
Good Lord.
Wow.
Really?
Good job.
They're still playing there. And from what we've seen, they haven't had too many deaths, and their president's pretty gung-ho on leaving their country open to things like this. Actually, in Belarus, you can still go to games.
Okay.
You can still go to games. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well. But
sounds like fun.
Well, gas is free these days, so I mean, it's going to be pretty easy.
Just about.
It's trading at negative $11 a barrel. That's free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not free for us yet, though.
No, it's getting there.
It's close.
What does that have to do with Belarus soccer?
I'm just saying, man.
We're
The
going to
country's
Nigeria.
they got their gas is cheap.
It's
They're not messing with the economy. They're set, dude. Watch, Nicaragua is going to take a turn for the better. Boom.
Is there? I've been seeing a lot of things out there that people have been gambling on ping pong.
Table tennis, I believe.
It's all right.
Is that what ping pong is?
It's table tennis. I don't think they like it when you call it that or whatever else.
Forrest Gump will beat them all.
I was going to say all my money's on Forrest.
Yeah. So yes, I have been reading that a lot of people have been gambling on table tennis.
In China, they don't have any possession.
Just because I like the show, I will slip a little information. We may be seeing the possibility of being able to bet on professional bull riding as soon as this weekend.
There we go.
I would win at that.
I would really, really enjoy that.
I want to do that so bad.
I got a funny joke for off air.
Yeah.
I did it in Tijuana.
So
Sure
you
you
guys,
did.
so these,
I
so
did.
all right. So Jake, take us into these Zoom meetings that you have. So you guys like just throw out ideas and you're just like, hey, what can we get? What do you think the IGRC is going to allow us to do? Your your team comes together. This is great. Someone's just like, hey, is bull riding allowed? I'm like, I don't know. I'll look into it.
How is that not a sport, though? I mean,
It is a sport,
Yeah.
but
Have
it's
you
not
ever done
something.
it?
Have I ever gambled on bull riding?
Have
or
you ever ridden a bull?
No, they wouldn't let me even be a clown over there at the Tax Slayer Center. I tried to be a rodeo clown.
Is it
Don't
because
sell
of your
yourself
height?
short, Jay. You're a tremendous clown.
Okay.
Is it because of your height?
No, it's because of insurance things. It was insurance reasons within like 48 hours.
They're like, you can't be eye to eye with the bull, Jay Foster. You have to peel up.
I don't even know.
It was
that's a pretty
insurance.
short bull.
I've ridden one, not a real one, but a mechanical one.
Well, I'm really excited to see how the scoring. Is it
And that was not
over,
just his nickname.
Hold on. Yeah, it's got to be the over under. Yeah, because it's got to be, you have the bull, his history, the rider's history. It can't always be 8 seconds. It's got to be. I mean, you would think the average is going to be 6.5.
Luke Perry died, man.
Hey,
Let's
that's
be
a solid
careful.
movie, by the
I know,
way.
I'm just
All
saying.
right.
Well,
He was
it's
in-
interesting too, right? Because it puts a lot of weight into the rider's court of they can throw the time, whichever
That's
way they
true.
want to. And it'll be interesting. But like I said, it's not completely confirmed yet. It's in the works, but my fingers are crossed because that's a sport I can get behind.
I would like that. Yeah, let me know how that goes, and if there's any other things that we can we know ahead, we can look into ahead of that aren't the usual things from our friends at Elite Sportsbook, though.
Yeah, and if you think of some that you stumble across, just shoot them our way on social media, or send them to me, and we'll run them up the ladder and see what the response that we get.
I will. I'm going to think about this. We're gonna. Yeah, I like this a lot. There's this. You guys are thinking outside the box, and I
Does
appreciate
it have
that.
to be PG?
Well, yes, it has to be PG.
I'm
Well,
out.
not really. You have to be 21 to gamble.
Hey there, so it doesn't
I
have to
think
be.
it just
Yeah.
has to be like professional sport.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's a sport if you try hard enough.
Here's the deal: we're not going to go out. They're not going to accept lines for the four potheads going out at Duck Creek Park and playing frisbee golf. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that is not where my mind was
no,
going
it's got to be a
at all.
professional. So it's not going to happen. Well, outside of the usual, are they reporting anything to you about any possible phases for opening up at all, where you guys may fall?
We're just kind of waiting on the governor here. She set the date of April 30th, and then we wait for a press conference to say if that date is extended or if they're going to start opening up different things. Just total speculation. I can't imagine, in the first opening businesses that casinos would be, the first business to open their doors. So, but we are staying optimistic and planning as if April 30th is the date. And if we get pushed back, we push back and we listen to what she has to say and then kind of go from there. So, fingers crossed.
Yep, that's the best you can do is just stay positive.
Yep.
All right, my man. I appreciate your time. Thanks for calling in and giving us a laugh and talking about Nicaraguan soccer.
Yeah, no problem. And if that bull riding does go live, I'll make sure to tag you guys in on.
Please do. Please let me know.
Me
I want to write about. I want to write about it. Give some highlights of who to bet on over the weekend for professional bull riding.
We can recap next week.
Love it. Thanks, Jake. I appreciate your time, man.
Take care,
Bye,
guys.
Jake.
Stay safe and sanitize, my friend. It's Jake from State Farm.
He's always a good time.
Well, Jake, I know you got me saying it. Jake from Elite
You're welcome.
Sportsbook. Yeah.
I'm the one that started that, and it's stuck.
Yeah,
it's official.
It's official. That's our guy. That's interesting. He has that. We still haven't gotten to our top 5 bottom worst GM jobs, so we do need to do that. But let's take a break first. And from a quick word from our friend from Locals Love Us.
That's right.
Take a break, come back, and we did the top 5 best GM jobs. I don't really think we gave a top 5. I think we gave a 7, and it's from you to figure out from there what you think. I think we're at 7 or 8. But there's got to be some GM jobs that are just, it's just a no way.
I'm going to talk
it's
about
a
our
hard
friends
pass.
from Front Street Brewery, though, Jay.
Okay, do that.
Front Street Brewery is the oldest brew pub in Iowa. Right now, the restaurant is open at 208 East River Drive. They're going to do carry-out food. All you got to do is get hold of them on their Facebook page, call in, have that hot and ready for you to pick up. And the tap room is open at the Freight House Complex. Fill in your growlers. So jump in there and get some Danbrook Gold, Wise Guy, Raging River, or Cherry Bomb Blonde today. Those are our friends from Front Street Brewery.
This is Lobo from Lobo Salsa. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
These are uncertain times, but we at First Midwest Bank remain strong, remain committed to our clients, to our communities. And we want those who are uncertain in these uncertain times to know that even though we currently all need to stay apart, we are all in this together. First Midwest Bank. To learn more about how we're helping our clients adjust through this difficult period, visit firstmidwest.com. Member FDIC.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Did you see what happened with Kyle Rudolph? Because it reminded me of you for all of the wrong reasons. Kyle Rudolph went to Twitter and pointed out that a media member had asked him for his gloves that he cheated to win the game against the Saints with. And he said, sure, for charity, of course. I'll even sign them for you since it's for charity. And then he gave it to the media member, then saw it being sold on eBay for $375 plus $6 of shipping, and just pointed out that that was wrong. And not only is it wrong, it's fireable.
Listen, I have since apologized. I mean,
you apologize? You've been leaving messages on Kyle Rudolph's machine?
Yes, Rudy.
Charity's the name of my wife.
The Dan Le Batard Show, 9 till noon on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Hey, this is Eric at Winger Truck Line, where we have been in continuous operation without a layoff for 74 years, and we are hiring drivers. During this unprecedented time in our nation's history, Winger Truck Line is staying strong and hiring for regional home weekends. We are busy serving our families, our customers, and our nation. How about you? Call me today, 800-593-6433, or see us online at drivewtl.com. Let's go!
Sweet strawberry icing. You were strolling along in Goodwill when just past that mid-century side table and denim jacket you spotted them, nestled in their display case. Miniature donut earrings. Oh, yes! Yes! Your favorite half-breakfast pastry, half-all-day dessert food, made into your favorite form of ear candy. Oh my. Those bejeweled sprinkles have satisfied some unknown hunger within you. Shh. Do you smell that? That's the sugary scent of shopping success. For this is Goodwill. And with every item you buy, you fund local job training and more. So go forth. Bring home those donut earrings. And bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
A hailstorm is never good news for your home, especially your roof. Recent ping pong to golf ball sized hail hit the Quad Cities. This type of hail can cause catastrophic damage to your home's exterior. Even new roofs can be affected. Don't wait. Call All Major Restoration today. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, All Major will walk you through the entire process, from filing an insurance claim through construction. Call the experts at All Major Restoration for your free storm damage inspection. 563-322-0060. Se habla español.
Now is the time to get in on the action with Elite Sportsbook. Receive a 50% match on your first online deposit up to $200 for all brand new accounts now through May 31st. Sign up at Rhythm City Casino Resort or Riverside Casino and Golf Resort to qualify for the new account deposit match. Visit EliteSportsbook.com for complete details and restrictions. Then start betting on your phone anywhere in Iowa. Get in on the action with Elite Sportsbook. Must be 21. Gambling a problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Can't leave the office during lunch? You can still listen to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on the ESPN 1170 app. Download it today and never miss a thing from the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
I'm very upset, Jay. But that's right, we're back here in the hassle.
Calm
down.
I'm
I'm trying to find Rat, man.
Yeah.
Leah's got something for me.
He turns into Rain Man when he gets frustrated with his phone.
So upset, so upset.
Yeah.
So very upset, yeah, very upset.
I really like Rat.
How do you find albums, Leah?
Well, type in the name of the band,
Yeah.
Okay, don't show Grandpa how to do work on his cell phone.
This is a great segment.
8
And then it'll show
years
albums.
ago. Yeah. Wow, look at me. 8 years ago, White Sox pitcher Philip Humber threw a perfect game
Humber.
in a 4-0 win over the Mariners. It's just one of 23 perfect games in MLB history.
Say it again. What kind of game was it?
A perfect game.
What's that mean, Jay? Bomber, do you know what that means? Perfect game in baseball?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
No hitter.
Okay.
And?
Yes, and that's part of it. A perfect game is better than a no-hitter because you could walk a guy, you could hit a guy with a pitch, you could still get on base and still have a no-hitter.
So no base. There's no bases.
Nobody got on base.
Right.
27 up, 27 down.
No runs, no hits, no errors.
See, if you look at someone like A.J. Burnett, I believe in 2001, he threw a no-hitter, but he walked 9 batters. So his whip was still a 1.
Mm-hmm.
This is 27 up, 27 down. Only 23 people have done it in history. At the time, Humber had just started 51 career games. His record was 16-23 with a 5.31 ERA. 142 pitchers threw at least 100 innings in 2012, and among them, Humber's 6.44 ERA came in dead last. It's still an incredible feat.
It is.
And it's awesome that he got to do it. So also on this day, 1996, the Bulls finished out they got their 72nd win that year. At the time, it was a record. So that was also on this day in history.
At the time, like it's been beat over and over.
Well, it's been beaten once.
I hate it when that happens.
Back to that Humber game.
Yep.
Did you find what
So
you're looking for?
what's the rule about the no-hitters, Jay?
Never talk during a no-hitter.
Never talk during a no-hitter.
Mm-hmm.
What about something? Can you type something?
Well, what are you talking about?
Okay, like say somebody for the
send a text.
Somebody for the Twins is throwing a no-no, and I text you. Is it bad luck about it?
It's just a.
How
I think it's
superstitious
more
are
of a.
you?
Yeah, I think it's more of a fun thing to be like, oh, you totally jinxed it, type of
Right.
thing. Ha ha ha.
Okay.
Like,
Which I've been on both sides of that.
Mhm.
Now, during Humber's perfect game, I was driving to Iowa City for something, or I was driving that direction, west on 80, and my phone was blowing up.
I'm gonna say you just kept driving.
My phone was blowing up. I knew what was going on. I was excited. Who do you think was calling me?
Van Severn.
Van Severn.
Nailed it.
I was gonna say
Blowing my phone up. Leaving me voicemails, trying to text me. I wouldn't even open it.
Who was we were watching a game with Van Severn at Pines one time, the Cubs pitcher, and I can't remember who it is off the top of my head. And we had been watching the game long enough, but not like very intently, but enough to talk about it. And the inning ended, and the stats come up. The run, hits, errors.
Yep.
Like, oh, he's throwing a no hitter.
You did that?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I really can't remember.
Did he leave?
And no, what happened was the next time they came out, the very next batter, he gave up a hit. He took my drink, poured it on the bar, and I said, I deserve that. So,
all right.
But
So
yeah.
I've had that done to me. I also did it when Ted Lilly and Gavin Floyd were throwing a dueling no-hitter at Wrigley into the 7th. Floyd gave up. I think I've told the story about there before. Floyd gave up a hit in the 7th and went on to the 8th, and or whatever. And so Ted Lilly's going into the top of the 8th inning with a no-no going, and I walked down into the bleachers, which was 50-50 Cubs and Sox fans at the time. And I said, "Hey, everybody, realize Ted Lilly's throwing a no-no." I just turned around and walked back up.
Yeah.
I got booed, I got cheered, I got everything. And then the next pitch was a Juan Pierre pinch hit base knock up the middle.
I'll stop
in the middle like Monet.
I'll stop pretty much anything I'm doing to watch a no hitter, and especially a perfect game. But
From any team.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
I've had times where I've been in the tavern and stayed longer than I should have because I couldn't leave. There was in the middle of a no-no. I mean, I've had times where either going to bed or had to be somewhere else, and just didn't leave. It was in the middle of no-no.
It's kind of like the Truman Show.
You can't jinx
like
it.
the world stops. So we got a couple things out here, Jay, on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread. Okay, Michael Springsteen said that Burley would talk about his own perfect game in between innings, and it's a great story told by AJ. Brzezinski tells an awesome story about that. Like, Burley was very unconventional when it came to pitching. Like, he didn't want to be left alone. Everybody was leaving him alone during his perfect game and his no-hitter. And he's like, hey, guys, like, come talk to me. Come hang out. And nobody would go talk to him. He's like, this is crap. But, yeah, he would talk to everybody. So that's a good story about Burley. And then Mikey Hart, coming through with the facts here, buddy, says it was he was at a Carlos Zambrano no-hitter in Milwaukee against the Astros.
What year was that, Mikey?
Goodness. Zambrano?
I didn't even know.
I just want to know if I was
have
a lot of no-hitters.
Have you ever witnessed one in person?
No,
I might have been at that one.
That'd be awesome.
I've made it to about 7 2/3. And that's a matter you start elbowing. And I know who it was. It was Longville. And he's like, I know. And I'm like, all right, just making sure we're all on the same page here.
Who's your favorite pitcher of all time?
Favorite pitcher of all time?
Favorite MLB pitcher of all time?
Probably Johan Santana, but it's just a Twins. It's a Twins thing, or Rick Sutcliffe.
You would.
Mine is Nolan Ryan or Greg Maddux.
Greg Max is a good one, but I never really fell into
Fernando Valenzuela.
That's a good pick.
Say that again. It sounded like you.
Fernando Valenzuela.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Or Oral Hershiser.
Nolan Ryan just because he was like the bad boy of baseball.
He wasn't a bad boy.
Yes, he was. He beat the crap out of that dude when he charged
It's
him
also
down.
the anniversary of Randy Johnson destroying that bird.
Whoa.
Isn't it? No, it's not.
Let's go back here. What was that, Bomber?
He beat the crap out of that guy.
Robin Ventura.
Yeah.
Beat the crap out of him. So
And he knocked the feathers off a bird. I mean,
No,
come
that was
on.
Randy Johnson.
That was Randy Johnson.
He won the fight hands down.
It
But
was
he didn't
Randy
beat the
Johnson.
crap out of him. Robin Ventura walked away with the bloody.
He
lip.
reminds me of Kevin Costner in that
A
movie.
few lumps on his head.
Oh, for the love of the game. I don't know why. It just always did.
Before we get back into our GM thing, Draymond Green was discussing the first 2 episodes of Last Dance on Uninterrupted's ROTS After Party show last night. And it's rather interesting what the comment that he makes. What he's doing is he's talking about the Warriors and their kind of run and where it went compared to that. And he did say that it was, he said it's like you switch the head on some of the bodies, you switch the jerseys, it's the same SHIT over again. But he did make one distinction, which is really, really important.
What's that?
He says, he talked about Kevin Durant. He says, you just can't, and this is the quote, you just can't leave the elephant in the room, because what happened was the question came to us every day, like every time we spoke to the media. And then you kind of had Kevin saying, like, I don't know what I'm going to do next year, and it don't matter. But it does matter, because you're not the only person that has to answer that question. And due to that, there was always an elephant in the room amongst us, as opposed with the Bulls. They didn't have that elephant. GM Jerry Cross said it was Phil's last year. Phil had told him it was the last dance. Mike already said, well, if Phil ain't coming back next year, I'm not either. So everybody knew it was Mike's year, last year. They didn't have that elephant, whereas I think we had a huge elephant sitting in the room, and Steve Kerr was trying to address it as best he could, but it was kind of out of his hands. That's a really good point. Because that is what happened. I mean, Jerry Krause said, Phil's quote about Jerry Krause and me they had. So Reinsdorf goes to Montana and says to Phil, we're going to do this, and we're going to sign you for 1 year deal. Phil goes into a meeting with Jerry Krause. Jerry Krause goes, look, I don't care if you go 82-0. You're not coming back next year. All right. That's the end of the conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, the crazy stuff about it, like Krause purposely not inviting Phil Jackson to his stepdaughter's, I guess it doesn't matter, daughter or stepdaughter, doesn't matter, wedding, but purposely inviting everybody else in the front office except for him, and then inviting Tim Floyd, who was handpicked for him as his predecessor. It's crazy. So, but
that's purposeful disrespect.
But like Draymond Green says, he's right. KD never gave him the heads up. KD was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. He knew what he was going to do. He knew he wasn't coming back. So that would be awful about that, the whole thing, that you constantly ask, so what's Durant going to do? Well, why don't you ask me about my triple-double that I just did tonight?
No. What about Durant?
Yeah. Okay, thanks. But I'll be the journalist from here on out, and I'll ask you about Durant. So, no, I thought it was a very interesting point. All right. We gave you earlier what we thought would be the top 5. I think we did 7 or 8. What would be the bottom 5? What would be the GM jobs in the NFL that you do not think is going to be a good pick? Would not be the best spot to go to?
Cleveland Browns.
Why?
Ew.
No, I'm just saying. It's not that I disagree with you. I'm saying like, if I looked at it and I said, ownership, coaching, legacy, blah blah blah, you can come back and say exactly not those places and location. You're in Cleveland.
Shorts of everything positive we said about the top 5 is the opposite of all those.
But think about this though,
Ownership,
Bomber. If you come in as that GM and you make some necessary changes, a little bit of luck on your side, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you turn that program around.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Right. So that doesn't make the Browns necessarily that bad of an option.
I'm not taking on a sinking ship.
I think she's right.
Yeah.
But are the Browns still a sinking ship though?
They've always been half
The
sunken.
Sunken ship.
The legacy, Baker Mayfield. I mean, you would take the legacy is not very good. I don't know anything. I don't know enough about
they're not the worst of the worst.
I think the Lions. I think the Lions would be the worst.
And Serge, I'm right there with you.
Okay,
who's the worst?
Detroit. They have the worst GM.
You're in Detroit,
and that would be the worst.
The Lions are the worst. There's nothing about that excites you.
You have to look at Stafford's
the
stupid
Lions
face.
are so bad they ruined 2 Hall of Famers, as in they left their careers early.
Yeah.
2 first ballot Hall of Famers said, "I'm done."
Okay.
One of the top running backs of all time.
All time, and one of the top receivers of all time said, "Eh."
Right.
Still had at least four good years left, both of them.
Oh, yeah.
At least. Gone. Yeah, the Lions, hands down, are the worst franchise ever in the NFL. Ever.
Wow.
In the NFL.
I just hate another place
There was nothing good about the Lions, period. Every other team on my list is either an expansion team or they've at least won a Super Bowl.
Okay.
So that's my pick.
There you go. That drink's going down now, ain't it?
I do like your pick.
Grab a pick, guys.
I do like your pick, Bomber, and I think it's definitely in the conversation. If we did the top 5 and we actually made it to like 8, it should be in the running, and it's got everything like you said. And finally, it's in Cleveland, Detroit, and then T-Roy said Detroit. The city of Detroit said, "Hold my beer."
Son of a bitch!
No,
they didn't say spill my beer.
Yeah. Detroit said, "I'd like to come in and remind you of my town if you're going to say something about Cleveland."
Yeah.
So that's fair.
I just weaved myself.
I'll give you one.
I got my own list going here. Go ahead, Jay.
I'm going to go with the LA Rams.
I had them and I crossed
You would
them
sit there
off.
and say like, "Oh my goodness, LA." It's but no.
The Rams, I didn't even think of them.
They
weren't even on my radar at all.
Those contracts, what
Says
they
a
did, now they're going to have to do a little bit of rebuilding. They gave a contract to a quarterback who's not that good. You're getting outwatched by. Do it again. Just keep it there. You get all day long.
How much of this did you drink?
I guess you're competing. You're what at best. At best, if you're lucky, you're the number 3 sports franchise, but you're probably not. You're probably behind the Kings, so it puts you. It's going to go Lakers 1, Clippers 2, maybe the MLS soccer team. At least you get the Chargers to pick on.
I don't know about that. Chargers went out of LA
I think
so
they're 4. So I don't like the LA Rams.
So who do you got? Because
all right, I just put it in the comment thread as well. My finalists in this order, from the worst being the Lions. Next, I think the Jets.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Just hold it.
All right.
Definitely the Jets.
Hands down the Jets.
You've got the media up your butt all the time.
Oh my God.
See, somebody had said that they missed football so much they went to the airport just so they could boo the Jets.
Dude, the Jets haven't had anything since
Quarantine
Broadway
jokes.
Joe.
Right.
I mean, they're the butt joke of the NFL. Get
That's-
the
yeah,
butt
the-
tackle,
yeah,
the
yeah,
butt
yeah.
joke,
Yeah.
butt fumble.
My goodness, and that's where Bears running backs have gone to die.
And
Think
don't they
about
have a lot of money too? Like, shouldn't they not suck that bad?
Well,
They're middle of the road, I would say, for payroll.
I mean, they could be better than they are. I mean, they play in the biggest market in America.
That's what I'm saying. They're New York. I mean, they should
I
have
mean,
a lot.
they have the Giants across the way from them, which the Giants isn't that great of a GM job either because you got to deal with the press.
All right, so you're looking at that just by the Jets alone. Yankees are number 1 in that area. All right, and I know where they play, but I'm just saying.
Yankees are 1.
Knicks
I would
are 2.
Knicks are 2.
And reluctantly, but people still. I mean, they're a very
Giants are 3.
Giants are 3. Mets
They are
4.
loyal,
Mets
though.
are 4.
Rangers are right up there. It might be 4A or 4B.
Rangers are way up there.
Yeah, they might be ahead of. Yeah.
I mean, listen,
No,
the
they're
only
not
thing the
ahead of
Jets got going for him is Fire Marshal Bill, the guy that comes down and J-E-T-S. He should have been a Philly fan.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Jets-
you're the Mets are above you. Yeah, you're the last of all of it. the
Jets
majors.
are 11 in cap room. Number 11.
All right, Serge, I'm willing to bet our list is pretty similar. Because
Okay.
at 3, I have the Jaguars.
Okay, so I don't have them in my top 5, but I understand. I understand why.
I 100% agree with the
I
Jaguars.
like the Jaguars. I think they're only a few big moves away from
going to London.
Not anymore.
Dude, by the way, right now, one of their top free agents, a very good defensive player, a defensive lineman, is in a Twitter war with the owner's son.
Yeah, no.
Terribly bad.
Right.
And and when I say war, it's.
I have a soft
With his
spot for
team,
Jacksonville.
owner's son?
I like the city. I like the beach. I
Yeah,
like
the city's
Minshew.
fine.
I like everything.
Yes, but
the team has had some potential, and they kind of keep in the bed. But
Well,
Ross would say shit in the bed, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have them in my top 5, but I understand, and I would put them as a bubble, bottom 5 for me. Good. I think you could do some damage in there with.
Well, Jay, what do you got? What do you
The right move. So that was your 3.
I would say 3.
Okay, mine's Cincy. Your Bungles.
Oh, you're right.
The Bungles, man.
The who's?
The Cincinnati Bengals. What's their deal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can mess up a wet dream.
They're horrible. They have crap for cap room. They have nothing for cap room.
The division is owned by the Steelers. I mean,
Owned.
the Steelers would have
In Baltimore.
Or the Ravens.
Yeah, I know.
Ravens.
But also, I mean,
Right,
look at the
popularity
Steelers.
and-
all the injuries the Steelers had, and if they would have gone
Yeah.
by the new playoff format that's
Yeah.
going to be next year, they would have made it.
Right.
So when I say it's owned by the Steelers, it's owned by the Steelers. But yes, the Ravens.
the
are
Steelers
up and
lost
coming.
everybody, and they're still relevant.
The Bengals are there.
I mean, the best thing they had going was the guy on the roof.
That guy. Yeah, I thought you were going to say the Icky Shuffle, but yeah.
No, not anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
Poor
that's
Icky.
That's how far
Get
it's
your cold
dated.
cuts.
30
Get your
years
cold
ago.
cuts.
That's 30 years ago. The reason my whole thing with Jacksonville was the idea, and you're right, that moving anymore or even playing there, but you have an owner who really wants to get to London somehow. Even though
Right.
that'll never happen.
Why? Keep it, man. You're dumb. Because you're not Florida's premier team. The Dolphins suck too.
Actually, I would have I forgot to mention the Dolphins
The
and maybe the
Dolphins are
top 5.
horrible.
And maybe in the top 5 GM jobs.
Yeah, they're a bubble for me. So I got 2 more. I'm going Vikings.
That one surprises me.
I'm going Vikings. I think that'd be a horrible GM job. They can't. They've had chances and chances and chances.
But that would be the one
And
if
they
you
can't
want it there.
finish.
Their fan
So
base
have
is
the
loyal.
Bears.
Their fan base is loyal.
No, the Vikings have had better teams. And I mean that as a compliment to the Vikings.
98 team was very good, and they had more besides that. But listen, the fan base is very good. Great stadium.
Who?
The Vikings.
No.
I've never been there.
Their fan base is good.
Yeah, but they're not in the top.
They are.
They're not
for
in the
me.
bottom. He has them in the bottom.
They're bottom 5 for GM jobs.
No.
Well, he's just saying.
Right.
You can say that.
No for you. That's okay.
No, I say no.
I
would
think
say
they're
this.
up high.
And then I have the Browns at 5.
I think they're in the Theo Epstein level. Like you win that, you bring them the title, you're automatically in the Ring of Honor. I'm serious.
And then your dynasty begins.
No, I'm just saying like what he did at Boston, what he did. I think if you're that GM, like you're the hot commodity, you can go wherever you want.
Sure, but
that's
another
conversation to have.
My point with Minnesota is what more can you do? Their
That's a good point.
Their GMs have made the moves. They've assembled the teams. They've gotten to the point where they are a tie for a number 1 or number 2 in that division, and they still can't do anything with it.
You're forgetting about the Randall Cunningham years when they were 15-1 or whatever else. They were a good team.
Right. No, but go back to something you said,
Go
though.
back to the 70s.
Go back to that Randall Cunningham team and how good they were, and they were dominant, right? They were dominating that division. They were dominating the league. How many Super Bowls did they win?
No, I
right.
know.
That's
zero.
and that's what my point is they got that close and still couldn't do crap.
Sounds like the Bears to me.
No, the Bears won a Super Bowl in the 80s. They got back to the Super Bowl in 05,
I would say
06.
this: it's not just all about Super Bowls won, because I would say right now one of the worst franchises out there, and I think it's worse than that franchise because it's turning around giving like dudes from that franchise contracts that don't hold up. The Redskins are terrible, you guys.
Oh, I forgot about the Skins.
That's a good. Oh my god, that's a really good. Are they renaming
crappy
them?
owner.
I mean, when we talk about how bad the NFC East is, it's really the Redskins are really bad.
That might be the one I just don't even want to touch.
We didn't even think about it because it's so awful.
I mean, everybody talks about Jerry Jones, like, oh, Jerry, and Jerry can be pricky, and Jerry upsets you.
Yeah, but do you want Jerry's job? Yep.
In
a heartbeat.
Daniel Snyder.
In a heartbeat.
No. Daniel Snyder.
Poor
He
Redskins.
reminds me of Jerry Krause. Mm-hmm. He's got that Jerry
Do you
Krause
remember the game? It was, I can't remember what the nickname of this game was, but it was a bloodbath game with the Eagles versus the Redskins. I believe it was a Monday night game. It was McNabb was the quarterback for the Redskins.
Was it
and
Deshaun Jackson with the kickoff return?
We all forgot.
It was like
about him,
58 to 20 something. It was just like nothing could go right for the Redskins.
Yeah,
it was that sums up their whole.
I mean, I disagree with the Vikings, but every other one everybody's threw out there was great.
Mm-hmm.
And I would even say the Raiders are up there a little bit right now.
Yeah,
I call them the fellas.
But the only thing, the thing is, the Raiders have come up quite a bit. Now, if this is 2 years you're asking me, I'm telling you the Raiders all day.
Yeah.
But
2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago, I'm telling you the Raiders all day.
That was right before their car broke down.
But the Raiders are on the rise right now.
Yeah,
and the Raiders are on the rise, so I had to take them out. I mean,
you've got a new place to go.
You got a new place to go to. I do like Gruden.
Yeah.
They got a lot of draft picks.
I hate that I love him.
I know.
Yeah.
Mayock, is it Mike Mayock? Is their GM?
Yep.
He's not a bad GM. He's got pedigree. So
I love that word pedigree.
You do have the good legacy background of the Raiders.
Yeah.
Fan base is strong, but I'll go back to what you said. The Redskins are just the dumpster fire.
Mikey called them the foreskins.
And you could almost throw the Dolphins in here too, guys.
I think they might be. Dolphins are on the outside looking in top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean,
not
think
bad.
about
No, top 5 good jobs.
Well,
really? I think the division's changing. I think there's an up and up. I think they have the draft picks. I think they're getting the pieces in order. And this is the one time I'm going to say, not a bad place to live. I'm finally throwing that in there. You still have the 72 Dolphins. You have Marino. You have a good fan base.
I look at the 72 Dolphins as a pain
What
in
do you
my
mean
ass.
it's not a bad place to live?
Miami.
It's not a bad place to live.
Really?
Yes.
Why not?
Expensive.
Out of all of them, though, where I'm like, all right, you can throw in like
you got
Green Bay. Okay,
I guess
live
if
in
I was
Green
the
Bay.
GM of the Dolphins, I wouldn't be worried about the price.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. When I'm saying,
I would take a $24 Tito's and water.
But the whole thing with the 72 Dolphins, I look at that as a negative. You have those clowns looking over your shoulder.
But I'm just using it as the legacy.
No,
the legacy.
Dan Marino.
What
Dan
year was
Marino
he?
was like, I don't know, 10 and 72.
Dan
No,
Marino.
he wasn't.
Pretty good call.
Really?
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Let's
He was
see.
probably.
He was drafted
he
in
was
80,
8.
He was drafted in the 83 draft. He was the 84 MVP. So he would have come out in 22. So take away 12 years from 83. Yeah.
Okay,
He was
what
born in
Dolphin was
1961.
Which one was in Ace Ventura?
He would have been 11, T-Roy.
Which one was in Ace Ventura?
Hold on.
Dan
Dan Marino and Ray Finkel.
Right, Finkel, that's what
Serge, I said he was like 10. How old was he, Serge?
Well, it depends on what date. To start the season.
Are you trying to make out with me?
No, I want my
To
guess.
start the NFL season, he was 10 years old, T-Roy.
Yeah,
Thank you.
He turned 11 in September that year.
You're right, I'm wrong. You're pretty, I'm ugly.
Oh,
You're
you
smart,
are
I'm
not.
stupid.
Speaking of
all the other stuff's true.
Speaking of Dan Marino, Utah State quarterback Jordan Love could go in the first round of the NFL draft after leading FBS with 17 passes intercepted in 2019. The only player in the common draft era since 1967 to lead the FBS in passes intercepted in his final season and get drafted in the first round was
Dan Marino.
Dan Marino. Yeah. Just throw that out there. I don't know. I like the Miami job. It's the one thing out of all of it where I think I said when I talked about, like, sometimes you just got to throw out location. This is the one where I'm like, oh, location's not bad. Dolphins aren't bad.
We could do this with baseball, too, by the way.
Yeah, we could do it with baseball. in a heartbeat.
I know more about baseball than football.
I could argue about the baseball one, but it's a little. I think it's a little bit different, and the reason why is because this is the number one sport. The fan bases. I mean, you're not going to have people. You're not going to be because it's on Thursday, Sunday, and Monday. You have more of the rabid fan base of people there. You're not going to have a Dodger fan in the middle of a bar get all really riled up about someone else.
I wrote my top 5 in baseball down like that.
You wrote your top 5 in baseball down like that
Just now.
You know, Moreno has more love children than he does championships.
You know, Carlos Santana
I won't put
does
him in
too?
any order, Jay. Just off the top of my head.
Moreno's got a long list of extra out of one.
Illegitimate babies.
He's got 6 kids.
Okay.
Oh, that ain't
Top 5 GM jobs in baseball.
Top 5 GM jobs in baseball.
Fine.
You ready?
Well, yeah. Okay, one.
All right, we got to go fast. We don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox, Cubs, Cards.
Jimmy, Tommy, all right.
All that except for the
Say that
Cards.
down one more time. By the way, there's
It's
another
fine.
thing when you mention
I-
that. What's going to
Cardinals
happen
are
with the
a good
Marquee Network?
franchise
about this?
to do. They have a great
Yeah.
fan base. Listen, I hate the Cardinals.
They have it. Yeah, well, if
Yankees,
they'll tell
Dodgers.
you.
Wouldn't work for them.
They'll tell you.
Yankees, Dodgers,
Smart
Red
fans
Sox,
in baseball.
Cubs,
They'll just
Cardinals.
tell you. Cardinal fans will tell you that we're the best fans in baseball. We're the best fans and smartest ones in baseball. The Cardinal fans will tell you that. Just pay attention. All right, Yankees.
Marky,
Yankees
Ricky,
won.
Danny, Terry, Mikey, Davey, Timmy, Tommy, Joey, Robbie, Johnny, and Brian.
Say it again.
And Will.
And Will, yeah.
Little Willie.
Alpha, Beta, Charlie,
Please,
Deco, Echo.
We'll,
You don't want that, Skyla.
That's good.
As we put a bow on this, yes, we can do this tomorrow. But I think hands down, the number one job is the Yankees.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
it's the Yankees.
I think I'm more interested to see
Right,
what's your worst. What's
I don't
your
know,
worst
man. They're
job?
kind of on a downward spiral. Jesus, right?
See,
No, I'm not even saying.
No,
I'm not
I know.
saying-
I completely agree with you.
I'll take Yankees at any time in their existence.
Your top 5 is
You say, Terry,
fantastic.
you can be Yankees the GM anytime.
It's the 1950s. Let's argue with the top 5 jobs.
You said, okay,
Yankees.
so
Okay.
I know you said this really fast, and as you should have. It went Yankees, Dodgers, Cubs.
No, I went Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox,
Red
Cubs,
Sox,
Cards.
Cubs, Cards. Right.
I think that's pretty good.
I'm sorry. I got again. Do it again.
Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox, Cubs, Cards.
I agree with all those.
I don't know who else I could throw in there. I mean,
Marky, Ricky, Danny, Terry,
Yeah.
Mikey,
Hey,
Davey,
what about
Timmy,
the
Tommy,
Braves?
Joey, Robbie, Johnny, and Brian.
no. Braves aren't up there.
Nope.
They used to be.
No. In 92.
Hey, that was when I was growing up, so okay. That's what I remember.
I was 10. I was 10.
I don't think that list can be argued.
I was 10 as well.
I don't know who else.
San
to throw in
Francisco Giants are going to get in the argument.
Sure.
They want to sniff.
Okay,
in there.
there's
I would say Giants are outside
there are
looking, but they're
five. There might
very
be
good.
5 teams that could be in an argument to take a 5th spot, maybe.
That's
Close,
where it would be.
but they're
yeah.
not going to top them.
I mean, the Giants are a good call. I would say here's your outside looking in. I would say Giants.
I mean, Nationals.
I mean, right now I would say Astros.
You
Well,
want that GM job right now?
yeah,
Not touching that.
That's
a good point.
yeah. You're what that is you're just a paper GM till
Not-
the next one comes. Same thing. Dusty
Not
Baker,
touching
he's
that
the
with
paper
the
coach.
with a nipple buzzer
But
and
I'll
a
go with
trash
I'll go
can.
with
Just
your
an
Braves
apple.
talk. Braves are outside looking in a little bit right now.
I would say.
Well, I guess we'll say that because then my Astros might be in the bottom 5 right now.
Cincinnati Reds a little bit.
I was
They're
gonna
on the
say that.
uptake.
Cleveland's been
It's on
like
the
that's
uptake.
that one that's getting close, and if you're the one that can push them over, if you can Epstein them.
But I would say all these other ones that we're bringing up are just like compared to these other 5.
We'll come back.
And
to
I
five.
didn't even name those other 5s in any order. I just
Nope.
started thinking in my head.
My
Like you
my
said-
my sleeper in this one is Kansas City.
The Royals,
Yeah.
the Astros.
Yeah.
Well, we already said that.
I know, but Mikey just said it, so I just wanted
But
to
yeah,
give a
but
little
we said
validity
you
there.
don't want that with all the
You might not want it.
with all the
Now,
conspiracy
Might have to
stuff
flip it
going
around
on.
now.
I mean, yeah.
I agree
All
with
right.
the Royals.
Well, I think that it obviously gives us something to talk about tomorrow. That right there was a good one, and heck, we can even do the NBA. So, and you can also argue top 5 AD jobs to take in a Power 5 school, which isn't a bad one as well.
We're gonna have to have a guest caller on that one.
Hey.
Might be poolside.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I want to thank Rossa for calling. Remind you guys that tonight at 7 o'clock we're going to do our mock draft.
I did my NBA.
We'll be let's just save it. Thank you. We're going to do our mock draft.
That's a good ending.
Thank Jake from Elite Sportsbook for calling in as well. Fun time today. And
A lot of good comments out there too, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank
Please
you guys.
keep that up.
We're gonna keep putting a show
Talk
together.
to
I
us,
mean,
babies.
it is.
Gives me something to do.
It's crazy, and we're trying to keep doing things. The
Tough
draft
times
is
out
right-
there, man.
Yep, we're all getting through it.
Hashtag alone together.
It's a jungle out there.
Yeah, it's alone together and stay. I don't even want to go through them. Anyway, you guys enjoy your Tuesday and stay safe and sanitized out there. Enjoy yourselves, Quad Cities.
Safe and sanitized.
Bye.
From the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studios, this is the